afternoon. Hey, people. It's Friday. We made it. We made it to Friday. And, do we have anything?
Friday.
Yep. Do we have anything to talk about? I wonder.
Just a few items.
All right. We're, as Chris mentioned, by the way. Thank you, Chris. Chris Morales and I both love Boogie Nights.
So do I.
So whenever he knows I'm doing a show, he's probably knew it since you and I were doing it that he would do a Boogie Nights Open. God bless Morales.
When Chris was in recovery from, he almost died, John.
Yes.
I don't know if he told you.
He's mentioned that.
But I sent him a few get well wishes, and they all had Boogie Nights gifts attached to them because I knew that would cheer him up.
Excellent. So let's not bury the lead. Well, first of all, let's take care of a little business. As Chris mentioned, we are giving away the signed Austin Reeves shoes today. It'll go to one of four people, the four people that figured out lie of the day. No lie today. Andy and I may lie just naturally, but we're not giving away anything for it.
No, we're doing it for free.
And, yes, we are giving away a pair of signed. And Laura just walked in with, okay, now yesterday I said we were giving away the pink ones. We changed it. We're giving away the green ones because his... Yeah, he wore them last night, and he signed those, right?
Yes, they are signed.
Okay, so the signature looks better on these because it wasn't showing up on the other one. So we wanted to make sure that the signed Austin Reeves shoes were worth something to the winner. So we're giving you the green ones. Now, the Lakers play again tonight, but let's talk about last night.
Oof.
Andy, I've been around the league long enough, and you and I have been covering the league roughly the same amount of time, where I want to stress this over and over and over. You can't overreact to one game. It's one game. It happens all the time where a team lays an egg for one game. The most famous Laker loss ever to the Boston Celtics was the Memorial Day Massacre in 1985. They lost 148 to 114. They looked like they didn't even deserve to be on the court with the Celtics. Game one of the NBA Finals, and the Lakers came back and won that series in 6. So last night does not necessarily set the tone moving forward. Now, having said that, let's overreact. One of the things that surprised me, Michael called last night's game the most disappointing loss of the season.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far at all.
Well, the reason he thinks that, and he'll be along shortly, Michael, the Lakers play again tonight at Crypto. They play New Orleans. The reason Michael said it's the most disappointing loss of the season is because it was set up as a playoff game. A lot on the line against a team you could face. Matter of fact, after last night, if the season ended today, it would be Lakers-Warriors in round one. Michael said, you're in your own building. They're in the last game of a 6-game road trip. Your whole team is healthy. You got to show up. And the Lakers played one of their worst games of the season.
I don't think they played one of the worst games. They've played way worse than this over the course of the season. I mean, they lost this game by 7. They had many opportunities to get themselves back into this thing despite not playing anywhere close to their best level. They got 7 combined points from their bench, and it was a really off game from Luka, and this still was a winnable game for the Lakers. Like, Michael is correct that the stakes were there, and what the Lakers really lost out on, I think, at the very least is this could have come pretty close to putting a hammerlock on you can't fall below 4. Like that's
no longer the case.
And that's a big deal. Like I'm not trying to downplay at all the stakes of this game or the ramifications. Like, they're real. I just don't think this was anywhere close to the worst they've looked all year.
Well, I'll let Michael give you his opinion when he comes in. But for me, it showed a lot of kind of subtleties of an NBA season. For example, Houston was in here on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's a really good team. They're going to be the 2 seed in the West.
Yep.
The Rockets did a really good job of guarding LeBron, Luka, and Austin.
Yep.
And Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent won the game for the Lakers. They each made 6 threes. They each scored 20 points. Last night, couldn't make a shot.
Nope.
You mentioned Luka. one of the complexities of Luka, and something that Laker fans are going to have to kind of get their head around, is Luka is one of the 3 best offensive players on planet Earth right now. He is as good offensively as pretty much anybody in the league. I mean, if you're having a conversation about Jokic, Giannis, LeBron, Steph, Luka's in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Group. When he has an off night, and every player has off nights, last night was one of them, it's magnified by the fact that he's not a good defender. So, in other words, the net loss, Andy, is significant. Because what they did was they put Luka in a bunch of pick and rolls and carved him up, which a lot of teams do. Now, normally the response to that is Luka's so good offensively that the net either is a plus for you, for the Lakers, or it's a wash. Last night he was so off. Didn't make a 3 for the first time in like 100 games.
2 years.
Yeah.
Since April 2023, this is the first time Luka has gone 0 for behind the arc.
And the thing that's hard is that JJ really can't take him out, because even if he's getting killed on defense, because you never know when he's going to find it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if he does, he's the type of player that can get hot and put you right back in a game like that last night. Lakers cut it to 5 late in the fourth quarter. Luka could have hit 2 threes. Now, as it turns out, he didn't make any threes. He was just off offensively. So that's one of the things you accept when you build your team around Luka. It was true when he was in Dallas. It's going to be true with us moving forward. He is an unbelievable player. Every player has off nights. When he's off, it's magnified by the fact that he's not a good defender.
Well, I think it's also, I mean, he was.
And by the way, both JJ and Luka after the game completely took responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
For this.
And Luka was bad defensively. I think he's been better defensively on the whole this season than he was last night. Like, there have been a lot of games where I think Luka was somewhere between fine and actually pretty good defensively. This was not one of those nights. And then you combine that with the difficulty he had getting shots to go down, 6 of 17 from the field. And he has so much control over the offense. Like, the ball is going to be in his hands a lot.
You want it there.
Sure. But the downside is his empty possessions are going to be magnified more because most possessions are going to start or end with Luka.
Right. Now, a couple of things that I want to get your thoughts on. And I mentioned this to Andy before we went on the air. I'm so happy you're here today. For those people who don't know, Andy and his brother Brian host the Locked on Lakers podcast. Andy probably watches more Laker games than me, and I've seen every play of every game.
I would.
You go back and watch them again.
Well, I would like to think that I have not seen more Laker games this season than the guy calling the games.
Well, I would argue that you have watched more plays.
Maybe. I'm probably
anyway.
paying more attention than Michael.
Well, that's true. At one point last night, Michael was watching a cooking show.
Of course
it got
he was.
so bad.
Of course he was.
But here's something. I just want you to react to this.
Okay.
Golden State did not start anyone taller than 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
They out-rebounded the Lakers by 5, and they had 14 offensive rebounds. Yeah. How is that possible when they don't have any height?
Well, the Lakers are often going small unless it's with Jackson themselves. Golden State's been one of the best rebounding teams all season. They're very athletic, and they can match a lot of the Lakers' athleticism or beat it. A guy like Brandon Podziemski is one of the best rebounding guards in the league. Draymond,
Jimmy Butler too. He plays bigger than he is.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's a really good rebounder, and Draymond is obviously a really good rebounder. Steph is actually a decent rebounder for his size. They do a good job. I thought last night they did a good job, and they've done a good job all season of getting to a lot of these balls quicker than the Lakers. And this is, I think, last night more of a matter of personnel and the ability to rebound than sheer size. And it's something the Lakers are going to they've done generally, I think, a decent job of it, but it's something they're going to have to figure out all season because more often than not, they're going to be going without a center. Like, their best players don't include their centers.
And you saw last night with the Warriors, you don't need one. If the other guys know what they're doing, you really don't need one. All right, the thing that surprised me the most about that game last night, and I mentioned it several times while we were calling it, is the Lakers tried to get in a three-point shooting contest with the Warriors, the best three-point shooting team in the history of the world. with the best shooter in the history of the world who had 37 points. And Podziemski came out and hit 3 threes right at the beginning of the game. I kept screaming, Andy. People were getting mad at me. They're like, Ireland's too negative. He's too down on him. I was saying, take the ball to
when does that ever happen?
Take the ball to the basket.
Sure.
Attack the rim. We are getting into a 3-point shooting contest with the Warriors. We can't win that. Attack the rim. So first half, they score 47 points. You mentioned that there was a 10, 12-minute stretch where they had 9 points total because they couldn't make a shot. They missed 12 shots in a row. Andy, they have LeBron. They have Austin Reeves, one of the great break down your defender, get to the rim guys in the league. They score 47 points in the first half. At halftime, JJ gets a hold of him and goes, hey, take the ball to the basket. In the second half, they score 69 points. Okay? They figured it out at halftime. Why did they not attack the rim in the first half?
I mean, I think some of this is the way the league works now. It's so three-centric. You feel that pressure.
If they leave you open, you have to take them kind of thing.
Sometimes I think you do need to take that shot. If it's open and you're one of the guys on this team that is supposed to be taking that shot, you need to take it because otherwise it throws your offense out of whack. Like DFS last night had a terrible night from behind the arc. 0 for 5. The game before, though,
he made 6 threes.
More importantly, it is his job to put up that shot. It is Gabe Vincent's job to put up that shot. If they are passing up those shots, it makes it that much easier to defend Austin and Luka and LeBron because the guys that are out there that are supposed to be spacing the floor are just telling you we are not going to take that shot. You have to take some of them. I would
agree with some of them. I just don't think you have to get all of them. If you get into a 3-point shooting contest with the Warriors, you're probably going to lose.
Well, I'm curious to see the quarter-by-quarter breakdown for the amount of threes, because some of it down the stretch was them trying to play catch-up.
Get back in it,
And in the beginning, they were going 3-point for 3-point with Golden State. They were actually making those shots. There was just a long lull.
Well, they actually shot fine from 3 last night. But my point is this. When you started to fall behind, when they fell behind by 15, I said on the air, I go, this game's a blowout. And Michael goes, oh, Ireland, don't panic. There's plenty of game left. I said, Michael, I'm doing the opposite of panicking. The Lakers are lethargic. They're not playing with the energy that the Warriors are.
This gets back to a discussion you and I had earlier in the week about Luka, who was 0 for 6 from the arc last night. And I said, Luka obviously needs to be taking threes. He should be taking threes. His step back can be a weapon. But Luka, I think, more than anybody else, often forces those threes and looks to put up some of those threes.
But I don't think 0 for 6 from 3 is all that questionable,
but I think
right? Do you? Do you think 6 threes is... It's not. I would say 0 for 10 would be better. I mean, if you take 10, at least I know you're out there trying.
Well, I mean, he took 17 total shots. They're starting to look to... I think they're starting to look to divide up the shots more evenly, which, again, will make this offense harder to defend. But if you look at the slump Luka's in right now, it's not even so much that 6 is that high. I think it's just indicative of Luka will sometimes look to force that shot. And especially if it's not going down, you're just throwing your offense out of whack when you're looking to do that.
Yeah, well, they were definitely out of whack last night. And Andy mentioned that by losing, they have thrown the standings into chaos. We will explain that coming up. We'll also get into the Dodgers a little bit. At 1:15, Kurt Sandoval from ABC 7, who's with the UCLA women in Tampa tonight as they try and beat UConn at the women's Final Four, is going to join us and give us the latest from down there. Laura's here. Brian's here. Mason and Ireland. ESPN LA.
Hey, what's on tap today on 710 ESPN? Thanks to Michelob Ultra, the Lakers are back on the home court against the Pelicans tonight. Coverage begins at 6 p.m., tip-off at 7:30. Hear it on your afternoon drive on 710 ESPN or in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, only worth it if you enjoy it.
LAFC's homegrown hero, Nathan Ordaz, is cooking up this year.
Racing towards the 18, shot from 22 and in! Ordaz has scored, it's a golazo!
After the win over Inter Miami, the The black and gold are back to MLS play tomorrow in Houston.
First of all, we have to focus on Houston, and then after that, it's about the second leg in Miami, and hopefully we can take it.
LAFC visit the Houston Dynamo. Pre-game starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Hey, it's Bethel Duran. If you've ever been in a car accident, you know how stressful it can be. My boy Leo and the crew at Active Collision are there for you. They're the experts at taking care of your business. I'm dealing with it right now. Hit and run. The back of my truck was smashed. I thought it was just a simple fix the tailgate. No. Leo said, boom, boom, boom. This is a problem, Bethel. Let me take care of it. 626-330-0100. 626-330-0100. You'll get a 50% discount on your deductible when you let them know that 710 sent you. Or check them out on Instagram at active.collision.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun and excitement? You got to check out Chumba Casino. It's 100% free to play. No purchase required. Enjoy hundreds of thrilling social casino games anytime, anywhere, like bingo, slingo, slots, and solitaire. Get in the action. Play now for a chance to redeem some serious prizes at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Delaware, Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investment to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover train will quickly move guests between all terminals, the new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and a kiss and fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less. And trains depart every 2 minutes, beginning in early 2026. Learn more on this website, lawa.org/ESPN.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When I wake up,
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
You're checking out the Waba Grill Lunch Hour here on Mason and Ireland.
Sup, people?
Why do they grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Their Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins, fresh steamed vegetables, and signature sauces. Download the Waba Rewards app today or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you. Just like Mason and Ireland are for you.
Tell me if I'm weird here. Don't answer that question.
You're weird.
I knew that was coming.
The Waba Grill Lunch Hour rolls on right now.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
All right, Lakers lose to the Golden State Warriors. They're back at it tonight against New Orleans at Crypto.com Arena, 7:30 tip. Michael and I will have the call. Beto and Michael will start the pregame show at 6. But we're talking about the disappointing loss last night. And Andy mentioned that had they won it, they probably would have been on their way to a top 4 seed in the West. since they lost, let me tell you what the situation is now, and it's weird. All right, Oklahoma City's going to win it. They've already clinched it. They are 14 and a half games up.
That's ridiculous.
On the second-place Rockets.
Ridiculous.
So, right now, Houston has the 2, and they're 3 games ahead of Denver, and there's only 6 left. So I think Houston, for the sake of our show, let's say Houston gets the 2.
I consider Houston out of play at this point.
But here's the deal. Denver is third, 47 and 30. Lakers are fourth, 46 and 30. Warriors are fifth, 45 and 31, 1 game back. Memphis is 45 and 32, 1.5 games back. And here's the one that worries me, Andy. Minnesota, 45 and 32 in the 7, 1.5 games back. Now, the Lakers have 6 games left. I think,
and the tiebreaker over all these teams.
Yes, but I think, Andy, and tell me if you agree, I think if they go 3-3, they're in the play-in tournament. Because I think everybody else is going to move up. The Lakers have 2 games against Oklahoma City. The game Wednesday in Dallas. Luka going back to Dallas in a game that Anthony Davis is playing. That's a coin flip game. They got to play Houston again. The only games that I could tell you I feel really, really confident about are tonight against New Orleans and the last game of the year at Portland. All those other games are coin flips, aren't they?
They could be. I mean, they could be coin flips for sure. If it makes you feel any better, or I guess worse, depending on the details, would you like to hear the remaining games of all these other teams?
Well,
I happen to have them.
I looked at them. The good news for the Lakers is tonight, Denver plays at Golden State.
Yep.
So one of those teams is taking an L.
Yep.
As a Laker fan, who do I want to lose?
I would say that I want Golden State to lose just because.
To back them up?
Right. Just to back them up. Because, again, at worst, what you want is to avoid the play-in. And at best, what you want, like just bare minimum best, get a round of home court. You accomplish that easier with Golden State losing than Denver losing.
By the way, the Clippers are just 2 games behind the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. I've got their schedule, too.
How many games they have left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, so they're like us.
Are
they going to be favored in most of them? Rattle them off real fast. For Clippers.
They've got back-to-back games against Dallas,
okay,
both at home, I believe. San Antonio, then Houston on the second end of a back-to-back, then at Sacramento, at Golden State. So their schedule's tough.
Okay.
That's a tough schedule. Sacramento is still trying to, if nothing else, maintain
right now
the
they're
play-in.
the 10.
Right. They're trying to maintain, maybe move up. Denver's remaining schedule, at Golden State, hosting Indiana, at Sacramento, hosting Memphis, at Houston. So not easy either. The Warriors, Denver, like you said, second end of a back-to-back, hosting Houston, at Phoenix. San Antonio, second end of a back-to-back. Remember, Denver sat their guys against San Antonio and lost. At Portland, Clippers. So not easy either. Memphis, at Detroit, at Charlotte, Minnesota, at Denver, second end of a back-to-back, Dallas. Now, here's the wild card. Minnesota's schedule.
Okay.
At Philly.
Win.
At Milwaukee.
Probably a win, no Dame.
At Memphis.
Win.
Brooklyn, Utah.
Win-win.
That's tricky.
Okay. So they're going to win. If they win 5 more games, that puts them at 50. So they could move up to the 3 or the 4, depending on how many games we win. We have 46 wins. I think we go 4-2. We get to 50. That puts us in either the 3 or the 4. You agree?
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
But that's going to be hard to win 4.
It's going to be hard. I mean, this is something that on Locked On Lakers we stressed from the beginning of the season to where we are now. It was incredibly important to stack wins early in the season because
they did an okay job of that.
They did an okay job with it, but post All-Star break, their schedule was hard.
Right. The other thing I'll say about the loss last night, I've been around this coaching staff all year. These guys are grinders. They're going to take that tape from last night and they're going to pound the players over the head with it. And they're going to say, here's why we lost. Here's what we have to do. And I was very encouraged last night by Luka taking the blame for this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of players would go, just missed shots. But Luka was like, this is unacceptable and it's my fault.
And JJ did something I thought that was really smart but transparent. When he was asked about Luka, and he got like a kind kind of a long runway set up to the question. He just said, not his night.
Yeah.
And by doing that, he's not giving a quote that all of us can hang on to, gets talked about on First Take, the players have to deal with in the locker room, but he's also making it clear, especially in his tone, Luka was bad. I need more from Luka.
Yeah, which was
he didn't try
evident.
to sugarcoat it at all.
And I will say this. Obviously, the Lakers change the coach every 2 years for the last, 15 years you and I have been doing this.
They can't do that anymore.
Well, I think they've got the right guy. And what I was going to say about that was we've had coaches in the past, and I don't want to embarrass or name anybody, but where they didn't learn from losses and they didn't properly prepare. They didn't adjust like I think JJ's going to adjust. Now, I was saying, and I went on San Francisco radio yesterday. I said it to you. I said it during the game last night. I have been pounding the table saying I want Lakers Warriors in the first round.
Yes, you
I
have.
still do, but should I shut up? Because I think most Laker fans are now not going to be with me anymore now that they see how good the Warriors are.
I think the West is so hard that there's no such thing as a truly easy first-round matchup. That said, there could be an element of be careful what you wish for, because I think the Warriors match up pretty well against the Lakers when you look at their ability to switch and defend guys straight up as much as possible without, when teams start doubling Luka automatically, doubling LeBron automatically, those guys are too good at finding the open shooter, like finding Rui
LeBron
or
was
DFS.
fantastic last night.
Or Luka finding LeBron, Luka finding Austin. But a team like Golden State has enough defenders that they can play these guys reasonably honest and just be like, if Luka can beat our guy, so be it, but we're going to make him work. We're going to tire him out by making him work. Again, I would not be afraid of the Warriors, but I would say there's a bit of be careful what you wish for.
Okay, so here's the most fascinating thing about what's going on with the Lakers. There is a path by which I could make a lucid argument, a good one, that they're going to the finals.
Sure.
They could play Memphis in the first round, end up against Minnesota in the second round, and then if somebody knocks off Oklahoma City, then they play Denver in the third round, and they just beat Denver at Denver. There's also a path, Andy, because these standings are so close, where they would have to go through this gauntlet. All right? Think about this. Golden State in the first round. Denver in the second round, OKC in the third round.
Or flip Denver and OKC.
Right. I'm not so sure any team survives that. So so much of this is dependent on the next week, on the next 6 games. The bracket has never been more important. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, the West is brutal. A lot of this is going to come down to individual matchups. And look, a game like tonight against the Pelicans, that should be a walkover. Like, the Pelicans have everybody shut down. But the Lakers lost the luxury of, I think, automatically sitting a guy like Rui on the second end of a back-to-back, or like, frankly, Luka looks like he could use some rest. Maybe one of those guys sits, but not all of them.
The Lakers are sending out their injury report at 1 o'clock. LeBron's always on it, but I bet you he's going to be probable.
I think he's.
I don't think he can sit.
He's going to be probable,
and I don't think Luka or anybody else is on. I think it's going to be LeBron and it's going to be Maxi Kleber, and that's it. Because now the Lakers are in the mud.
Rui is the one guy that I think could be a wild card.
I take it back. I bet you Rui's out because they haven't been playing him in back-to-backs.
Right, and by his own admission, his knee is 70 to 80%. He, by the way,
Rui will be out.
Rui had a really good game last night.
Yeah, but he'll be out. Yeah, because they haven't been playing him in back-to-backs. Okay, coming up next, we'll spin the wheel of questions. Coming up at 1, Sports Graffiti. Coming up at 1:15, Kurt Sandoval, ABC 7 live from Tampa. First, let me talk to the people that are doing the hiring out there. If you are hiring, you got to use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can use it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Ian Siegel, the guy who invented ZipRecruiter, who I know, he's a great guy, puts it simple. We don't leave anything to chance. He created an algorithm that when you type your job in, let's say I need somebody who can host Locked On Lakers. Immediately, Andy Kamenetsky's resume shoots to the top. All right?
I'm wondering why I'm not hosting. I mean, it should be covered.
They help you find qualified candidates quickly. How quick? 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So what are you waiting for? Go use that web address for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
It's the ultimate wrestling experience and your chance to win tickets to WrestleMania. 2 chances to win. Go to ESPNLA.com right now and register to be there Monday afternoon with O'Shea Jackson Jr., Cappy, producer Lindsay Baseball, and me at Hollywood Park Casino, broadcasting live from 3 to 6 p.m. Double your chances to win WrestleMania tickets in Vegas. Just go to ESPNLA.com right now and click the ultimate wrestling experience. Sucker. Bang!
Join Cappy, O'Shea Jackson Jr., producer Lindsay, and I for a special Monday Night Raw watch party here at Hollywood Park Casino. You can win tickets to the biggest wrestling event in Las Vegas, plus a round-trip airfare and a one-night stay. You must be present to win and 21 years or older to enter. Park party and play here at Hollywood Park Casino.
Navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers' Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Well, here we are again, and I got to tell you, Jim, this match has me really concerned.
Here we have a powerful heavyweight, a train, weighing in at 6,000 tons. And this hasty lightweight challenger, a car, at just 1.5 tons?
This does not bode well for the car, or the people in it.
It's no contest. Every day, people are injured or killed trying to beat a train at rail crossings. See tracks, think train.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
That's a dumbass question.
You know what? This one might be, but here we go.
Own it, Laura.
I do own it. I might be. So I don't even know how to bring this up because this is such a crazy question / story.
Always the start to a strong question.
I came across a woman from California, Chanel Taper, I believe. That's how you say her last name.
Okay.
Her tongue is the longest tongue for a female. It is at 3.8 inches from tip to lips. So again, she holds the longest record for the longest tongue. And she says the coolest thing that she gets out of people when they see her tongue is a scream. Like, that's her compliment for her.
Careful.
So, yes, this is why I said interesting question. If you guys had an obscure, whether it be tongue or I'll stick with tongue because I'm not even going to go otherwise.
Right.
Would you guys be showing it off? Because I feel like if I had her tongue, I would be very discreet.
Okay. This
You know?
is so funny bringing this up. Lisa, my wife, is going to kill me.
Oh, no, don't do it.
Oh.
She has
Don't do it.
she has an insanely long tongue. It's
Oh.
like
monster. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, it's like a lizard tongue. I mean, but Laura, she's like you. She will not show it off.
Yeah, I would be
she
like
has to
timid.
she has to be super drunk at a party, and I'll go, stick out your tongue. She'll go, absolutely not. And then like an hour later when she's been drinking, she'll be doing it, and the whole table goes, whoa. Now the weird thing is, she has an abnormally long tongue. Her brother has the world's biggest thumbs.
Interesting.
They're like, Andy, they're like 3 times the size of a regular thumb, which means he's a really good baseball player. He's a really good golfer. He can throw the ball like 100 miles an hour. He's like a really good athlete because think about the advantage you would have if you could grip everything. He can palm a basketball, and he's my height, but he's just got super long thumbs. So, and he has no issue with,
showing it off.
But Lisa
Does
will
a lot
not.
of- does a lot of thumbs up?
Lisa will not mention the tongue to anyone.
Well, I mean, in fairness to Lisa, you are opening yourself up to a lot more, shall we say, perverted
Right. Well,
responses than just showing off
the reaction
the thumbs.
when she does that at a party, which is maybe once a year because she's, again, unless she's really hammered, she doesn't break it out. Somebody at the table will inevitably go, wow, were you really popular in high school?
Exactly.
Oh,
I mean, like,
Lord, yeah.
and you're talking about, I don't want to age Lisa, but we're talking about decades of hearing this
Right.
over and over and over. I'm sure she's over it unless, like you said, she's had a few shots.
Right. That's when, like, if you know her really well and you want to see it, you got to get her drunk.
Oh, it's like Jerry talking about Elaine. The key,
dancing?
Well, the
With
key
the
to the
thumbs?
dance. Well, you
Yeah.
gotta. The key to the vault is schnapps.
That's what unlocks Elaine.
Yeah, that's what unlocks Elaine. You do a little bit of this.
Yeah. So by the way, if you're a Seinfeld fan, I used to play basketball with a guy named Peter Millman, who is one of the executive producers and a writer on Seinfeld. Great guy. Used to be an intern for Howard Cosell in New York City. And I haven't talked to him in a while. I miss him. He's a good dude. But Peter told me very early on, I used to play pickup basketball with him, and he said, he goes, if you ever want to know whether or not a Seinfeld episode is going to work or if it's any good, it has to have good Elaine.
She's the
He
best.
said, when we had good Elaine, he goes, we were fine no matter what else was going on in the show. He said she was the magic potion to saving any show. Like, if you got some crazy idea that's not going to work, just have a secondary plot that has good Elaine and you're home.
I am
loves Dreyfus. Loves her.
Obviously not the first person to ever say this, but she may be the best female comedian in television history. Like, she is up there with Lucille Ball,
Andy,
Carol Burnett.
She's been nominated for more Emmys than any female. I think 22. And it's evenly divided between Seinfeld, The New Adventures of Old Christine, and Veep.
Oh, yeah.
She had one hit after another.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm putting her in the comedian category just because if you open it up to everyone, it just becomes too massive of a field. But, like, she is so effortlessly funny and, like, never doesn't come through with comedy.
So interesting. You talk about roads not taken or, like, identifying people at a young age. She was in the cast of SNL,
I know.
and they didn't use
I
her.
know.
They didn't think she was
I know.
funny enough. Her stuff was above the show.
Well, that was
and
like-
then she got turned loose on Seinfeld, and she became like this giant star.
That was during a very kind of lost period for
I think
SNL.
Jay Moore might have been around that time,
Maybe.
too.
I mean, the mid 80s, they was very, very up and down with SNL. Like, there was a high point with Billy Crystal and Martin Short.
Well,
but
Lorne Michaels left for 4 or
he
5
left,
years.
there was
Yeah.
the season where people, I think most people either forget or didn't even know, like there was a season where Robert Downey Jr. was a cast member. They only brought him in because he and Anthony Michael Hall were best friends, still are really
Right.
good friends. I think they basically never used either one of them. They lasted one season and got fired.
Jim Carrey auditioned 3 times and never got it.
Yep.
The Wayans brothers all auditioned for it, and I don't think ever were put on the cast. I mean, so you never know what's going to work, but it's every once in a while the right person meets the right situation. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus has done it 3 times. So I
She's
think
so
you're
good.
I think you're 100% right when you say might be the funniest comedian ever. By the way, the Dodgers today play in Philadelphia. Laura, is that game going to happen or is it going to get rained out? I know there was supposed to be rain in
I
Philly.
will confirm.
Okay, so here's the weird thing, Andy. It's on Apple TV. So you just can't watch it on Sportsnet LA. You got to have Apple TV, which I happen to have, and I'll be here working on my Lakers stuff for a couple hours if anybody wants to stop into my office.
I just recently learned that I have Apple TV.
Attaboy.
I didn't think I did, but then it turns out I've got, that Apple News subscription. and the setup that I have for the subscription
allows you to do that.
I had no idea until like 3 weeks ago.
Have you seen Path for Glory, the
No,
3-part miniseries about last year's World
I have everything
Series?
to catch up on Apple TV. I just discovered I have it.
You've never seen Ted Lasso?
No.
What?
You've never seen Shrinking?
Again, I just discovered that I have Apple TV.
You, my friend, are about to embark on
I
a
know.
very fun journey.
I know.
Wow. Yeah,
Shrinking in particular, I really want to see.
there's a bunch of great shows on
Also,
there.
really quick, the Padres are down 3-1 in Chicago, so hopefully they get their first loss.
Cubs or White Sox?
Cubs.
Okay.
Also, I watched that first episode of Fight to Glory, the Apple Dodgers Yankees.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, and what I love is you guys are going to fall in love with Mookie Betts' wife and Freddie Freeman's wife. They're both awesome. And did you watch the whole first episode,
The
Brian?
whole first episode,
okay.
yeah.
I teared up at the end when
So did
Freeman
I.
hit the homer.
The whole episode about him and his family
And his son
his
going
sons,
into
yeah.
the hospital, and him like so devastated by it one time. And he says right before they go to the World Series stuff, he goes, "I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. If Max wasn't better, I'm out for the year. He goes, I was checked out. He goes, I know maybe I should be able to play through it, but I can't."
Dude, I mean, it's one thing when family is ill, but when it's a kid, like when it's your child.
Andy, how about this? When he first checked into the hospital, and Max at the time was like 2. Chelsea, who you'll get to know through this series, she seems like really fun and really sweet. They did 12-hour shifts together at the hospital. So if he by chance woke up, one of them would always be there. So Freddie, in season, is doing 12-hour shifts at the hospital, and his wife, who has to take care of 2 other kids, is doing the other 12. I mean, you'll really like it. I'm glad you got Apple TV. Okay, we'll break for Sports Graffiti. Reminder: Kurt Sandoval from ABC 7 coming on after that. Oh, Brian, I will say this: if the Dodgers sweep the Phillies, if they win all 3 games in this series, I'm coming around to your side that they're going to flirt with the all-time record.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
You've said you think they're going to go to like between 115 and 120.
This is the team.
I've got them. Mason's with you. I've got him at 103. Mason and I made a bet that I'm closer. He said 115. I said 103. The bet is who's closer. If the Dodgers sweep the Phillies in Philly, I'm coming over to your side. It's just they're too good. All right, Sports Graffiti next. 877-710-3776. That's the phone number. You can talk about anything we've talked about. You can talk about the Lakers last night. You can talk about the Dodgers. You can talk about if you know somebody that has a long tongue. Whatever you want to talk about. 877-710-3776. Easy way to remember that. 877-710-ESPN. Open the phones, Laura. Sports Graffiti next, ESPN LA.
Join Cappy, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and producer Lindsay for a special viewing of Monday Night Raw on April 7th at Hollywood Park Casino. There will be one grand prize of a pair of tickets to WrestleMania in Las Vegas. RSVP for your spot at ESPNLA.com. You must be present to win. You must be 21 years or older to enter. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room, now open 24/7.
LAFC's homegrown hero, Nathan Ordaz, is cooking up this year.
Racing toward the 18, shot from 22 and in! Ordaz has scored! It's a golazo!
After the win over Inter Miami, the black and gold are back to MLS play tomorrow in Houston.
First of all, we have to focus on Houston, and then after that, it's about the second leg in Miami, and hopefully we can take it.
LAFC visit the Houston Dynamo. Pre-game starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Hey, Southern California, I'm Ty Pennington, the home guy. Teaming up with Pechanga Resort Casino to give away a brand new house. Imagine yourself in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home in incredible Temecula, California. All you need to do is play your favorite slots or table games at Pechanga Resort Casino. The more you play, the more entries you earn. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details on Home Sweet Win.
Rules and conditions apply. Go to Pechanga.com for more details.
The LPGA Tour returns to Los Angeles for the JM Eagle LA Championship, presented by Plastpro, April 17th through the 20th at El Caballero Country Club. Come watch 144 of the world's best female golfers, including standout LPGA superstar Nelly Korda and back-to-back champion Hannah Green. Tickets start at just $25. First responders, military, kids under 18, and those affected by the Eaton and Palisades fires get in free. Get your tickets today at jmeagleLAchampionship.com.
Hey, basketball fans, John Ireland here. Austin Reeves has been playing lights out, and now he's bringing that same energy to his brand new signature shoe, the AR2s from Rigorer. Designed for top performance and comfort, these kicks are for players who grind just like Austin. He was hands-on in crafting every detail, making sure the AR2s deliver on and off the court. So go to Rigorer.com, Rigorer. Don't wait. Own a pair of Austin Reeves' shoes. That's Rigorer.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investment to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover train will quickly move guests between all terminals, the new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and a kiss and fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less. And trains depart every 2 minutes, beginning in early 2026. Learn more on this website, lawa.org/ESPN.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
Mason and Ireland on LA's mega sports station.
Oh my, am I really on Mason and Ireland show?
Yes.
This is a great moment. Hey.
Right now, more of Mason and Ireland on 710.
All right, time for Sports Graffiti. Your chance to sound off about all the stuff we've been talking about. Andy Kamenetsky is in for Mace today. Happy to have Andy because we got a lot of Laker content today. We had a game last night, we got a game tonight, and now we're turning the show over to you. Shelly, you're hitting lead off. You're on Sports Graffiti. Shelly, go.
Hey, guys. John, last night you kept bringing up why didn't they bring in Dalton Knecht?
Yeah.
Did you ever find out why not?
They just don't think he's ready to play in these high leverage situations yet. They like him a lot, Shelly, but I would have played him last night, Andy, because the defense for the Warriors was collapsing. You needed somebody who could make threes, and the Lakers weren't making them.
I think you could have made an argument to put him in there. I think JJ is
Even
trying
for
to,
10 minutes.
Yeah, I think
you know?
JJ is trying to whittle down what's going to be his playoff rotation, which a lot of
I
coaches
agree.
do by now. But yeah.
Oh, by the way, the injury report's out, and we were right. Hachimura out. Kleba out, LeBron probable.
Yep.
Nobody else on the report.
Okay.
James, you're on Sports Graffiti. James, go.
Hey, love the show. I know you guys are, all over the place with your Laker knowledge. So my question is this. There's a lot of dislike toward LeBron, a lot of it unfair. They bring up his record in the finals, and they call him different names, and they're really just not nice about it. But why is it when they bring up his records in the finals, they don't bring up that super team on the Warriors was part of it when Durant joined it? Now, they bring up that Durant went to a 73-win team, but they don't compare it to that is the reason why LeBron, in part, why his record is the way that it is, because he went up against a super team. Thank you very much.
All right, James, thanks. Andy, I always think that it's weird that we talk about somebody's record in the finals. Like, I think LeBron's 4-6 or
He
something.
is 4-6.
And like that's a negative. He got there 10 times. Where did we bury the lead there?
It's one of the many things that makes rings culture stupid.
Right.
You're penalizing guys for actually getting to the finals. Like with Jordan, the 6-0 thing. And I'm not trying to obviously take away from 6-0, but it's led everybody to forget all the times that he got eliminated. If you're old enough to remember, people used to talk about Michael Jordan as he can't win the big one. He's too selfish. He's too obsessed with scoring. And then he became the ultimate winner.
I'll take it a step further. I know I'm in the minority saying this. I think Magic Johnson's record in the finals, 5-4, is more impressive than Michael Jordan's 6-0.
Why?
Because Magic he has one less title than Jordan, but he got to 9 finals.
It's pretty impressive.
I mean, 9.
It's super. And also, I think LeBron should be thought of as 4-5 because that 2007 Cavs team
Oh, God.
only got there because of
Because
LeBron.
he's throwing the ball to Boobie Gibson.
Right, so you are penalizing LeBron for being good enough to drag that team to the finals. They lost to the Spurs, like the Tim Duncan Spurs. Of course they lost.
Right. Michael, you're on Sports Graffiti. Michael, go.
You guys, John, I have an issue with you guys. I called Beto last night and kind of went off. Maybe he told you about it, but I'm really getting fed up with you guys selling Luka as the best thing since sliced bread. The guy has more turnovers and more guys driving by him. He's a liability on defense. If he is the absolute biggest trade in NBA history, he should be winning us games instead of shooting us out of games.
Okay, Michael, let me ask you this. When Luka got here, I think we were in 9th place. Now we're tied for 3rd or 4th. We're a half a game out of 3rd. They have been winning since Luka got here. Would you not have made that trade?
I'm not saying that I would have made the trade, but what I am saying to you guys is that everybody has been touting him as the biggest thing ever, and he has not won us the type of games that he is touted to be the best thing since sliced bread.
All right, Michael, did you watch? You watched last year, right? When he basically took the Mavericks to the NBA Finals by himself.
Yes, but
do you not give him credit for that?
No, not as a Laker.
Well,
absolutely not.
He hasn't played a playoff game as a Laker.
To fail as a Laker
thanks,
by
Michael,
those
for the
standards.
phone call. I can see why he's frustrated. Luka had a horrible game.
Yeah.
But Andy, that's micro. Macro is you make that trade 7 days a week, twice on Sunday.
I mean, you also can't penalize Luka for having not won a championship with the Lakers when he's yet to even go to the playoffs with the Lakers.
Yeah. BJ, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
My question is to John, a spinoff on that last guy. If Luka is the Luka of old, in great shape, how far do you think we'll make a deep run in the playoffs?
Well,
and I'll listen off here.
Okay, thanks, BJ. I think, Andy, like we were talking about earlier, and I know this is a little bit of a cop-out of an answer. It totally depends how the brackets break. I think there is a way the Lakers can make a deep run in the playoffs, but I want to see who they have to go through to get there. Is that a cop-out?
No, it's not a cop-out. I think styles make fights, and I think like last year, if the Lakers face anybody but Denver in the first round, I think they get to the second round. They were playing really well. They lost 5 games to Denver by, I think, a combined 22 points, 20 points.
Right.
That was a tight series. They lost on 2 game winners. That said, the caller raised an interesting point with Luka, and if he's right and in shape and whatever, I don't think Luka's right.
Really?
And I don't think he's going to have time to get fully right before the playoffs.
He seems like he's in pretty good condition to me, but you might be right. Let's see how this ends.
He looks to me, it's not even a conditioning thing. It looks like he's got some nagging stuff that he's playing through.
Yeah, hope not. We'll see. David, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys. So with this race being so close between the play-in and the 6th seed and up, I'm thinking the Lakers got to go 3-3. 49 wins I thought was the nice touch number to not make it into the play-in. Why did you get your guys' thoughts on that?
I think they need to go 4-2. I think 3-3 puts them in the play-in because Minnesota, we've already talked about, is moving up quick. They have a really easy schedule. The Lakers have the hardest schedule out there. And so, Andy, I think they need to get to 50 wins to stay out of the play-in.
I think 50 wins makes them pretty safe because, remember, they've got the tiebreaker over all of these teams.
Yeah, that'll help. So maybe 49, you might be right.
Whatever these teams need to tie the Lakers at a game, because they actually have to pass the Lakers. They can't just tie them.
Yeah.
So 3-3 would put them at 49 wins. That means every team has to get 50. That means, like, for example, Timberwolves have to go 5-1. To pass the Lakers if they go 3-3.
But we think the Timberwolves might go 6-0,
They
right?
could. They could. I'm just saying.
They're going to be favoring all 6 of those
All I'm
games.
saying is it's going to be hard.
Yeah. Sean, you're on Sports Graffiti. Sean, go.
All right, one more thing to add to Magic. He went to 9 championships in 12 seasons. And another thing is I'm proud of what the owners did in football. Let's have both teams getting the ball in overtime. Did you know that 56.2% of the time the team that wins the toss wins the game? And that
I agree with you.
It's only 43%. And then one more thing. I got a nickname, Analytics Andy, because he always analyzes stuff. Thanks.
Yeah,
live with that.
You can monetize that. In this world, you'll probably get a job as director of analytics at the NBA.
So unqualified, but I'll take it.
But here's an interesting kind of weird thing. For years, I've been getting phone calls from people that want a career in play-by-play, want to be me. Lately, over the last 2 to 3 years, I can't tell you how many people want me to introduce them to Phil Chang, who's the director of analytics at the Lakers. That's where all the kids want to go.
Well, the kid. Here's the thing: if say you're studying business or math or anything like that, you can move into director of analytics or become one of these hedge fund guys that eventually
that
looks
was
to own a
actually
team.
Phil's path. He was working in finance.
Yes,
and he
I know
moved
who
over.
I know who he is. I've never met him. But I know him.
Great guy. Let's get one more in here. Marlene, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hello, guys. Hey, I just have one question. You know, when Luka isn't playing a good game, why isn't he passing the ball? And, you know, I learned from Andy when he filled in for Sedano on Wednesday what FAFO means.
You're
so
welcome.
I'm kind of thinking, is that what is going? I mean, it pissed me off last night because he could have passed that ball a lot.
Marlene, I think it's a fair criticism, but Andy, a bigger one would be to me. In the second half, they attacked. They went to the basket. In the first half, I know Golden State collapsed on defense. They clogged up the paint. You still got to attack because that's how you get to the free throw line.
Well, it gets harder, though, to attack if everyone's just crowding the lane because you're not making outside shots. Part of the reason they have to take those shots is to open everything up. But what's interesting about that call is I'm looking right now at the advanced box score from last night.
Yeah.
Luka, LeBron, and Austin, their usage was pretty identical, like all three of them. And obviously usage doesn't tell you quite literally everything, but it speaks to the idea of what we were talking about before. When Luka's shot isn't falling, with the control he has over the offense, it can magnify it even more. It might even make it feel like he has the ball more than he actually does.
Yeah. Pepe Montilla has just arrived. Pepe, were you like me? Did you go home mad last night?
Kind of upset, but because the Lakers didn't play defense.
Yeah, and they didn't attack the rim. But we'll get into that with Pepe. Next up, Kurt Sandoval from ABC 7 will join us. He's down in Tampa for the women's Final Four. That's next, ESPN LA.
It's the ultimate wrestling experience and your chance to win tickets to WrestleMania. 2 chances to win. Go to ESPNLA.com right now and register to be there Monday afternoon with O'Shea Jackson Jr., Cappy, producer Lindsay Baseball, and me at Hollywood Park Casino, broadcasting live from 3 to 6 p.m. Double your chances to win WrestleMania tickets in Vegas. Just go to ESPNLA.com right now and click the ultimate wrestling experience. Bang!
So Mark Reel from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
50 years at full speed. It's going to be an epic celebration at the 50th anniversary Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach this April 11th through the 13th. It starts with the always exciting lineup: Indy cars, IMSA sports cars, Robbie Gordon's high-flying trucks, and drifting, along with the first ever historic Formula Exhibition event featuring all 3 eras of racing at the Grand Prix: Formula 5000, Formula One, and Indy cars, all on track at the same time. A very special sight and sound for everyone to experience. Plus the huge Lifestyle Expo, Family Fun Zone, Mother's Exotic Car Paddock, and 2 exciting concerts. DJ duo Dubs on Friday night, presented by Acura, and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band Foreigner on Saturday night, presented by Cuervo Tequila. Fun for the whole family. April 11th through the 13th. Tickets and more information at gplb.com. Come and join the celebration.
Laker fans, game day just got better. Meet your new go-to snack, BB-Go, the official game day snack of the Lakers. When it's time to cheer your team on, fuel up with something delicious. With BB-Go, you get mouth-watering Korean snacks and meals in minutes. Whether you're hosting a watch party or relaxing solo, BB-Go makes it easy to enjoy authentic, bold flavors without any effort. Keep your freezer stocked with BB-Go's delicious range, like their mandu, the largest, juiciest dumplings you'll find anywhere. Full of savory fillings and crispy on the outside, they're perfect for game time. And remember, BB-Go just isn't about great snacks. It's about a whole new level of flavor. It's minimum effort, maximum taste, every time. Find BB-Go in the freezer aisle of all major grocery stores. Grab your BB-Go, get ready for the game, and make every day delicious. BB-Go, making the whole world more delicious, one bite at a time.
Open your world to all that SeaWorld San Diego has to discover. Make new connections with orcas, belugas, dolphins, and more. Explore all new depths with Jewels of the Sea, an immersive experience featuring vivid displays of awe-inspiring jellyfish species opening this spring. And set sail on a flavorful journey as you sample your way through an all-new menu at the Seven Seas Food Festival. There's so much more to SeaWorld than ever before. Save up to 55% on tickets, fun cards, and passes during our spring break sale. Hurry, offer ends soon. Taxes, service fees, blackout dates, and other restrictions may apply.
And it is Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Like, that's the problem in the world, is there aren't enough happy shows, fun shows.
Mason and Ireland.
710 ESPN.
Hey, that sound means Michael Thompson has arrived. That's why Michael gets settled in. Let's welcome to the show my friend Kurt Sandoval. Kurt and I met as competing sportscasters in San Diego in the early 90s, and somehow we've remained friends ever since. Hi, Curtis. How's life?
My brother John, Steve, how are you guys? I'm good.
Well, no Mason. That's the good news. Andy Kamenetsky's here. Pepe's here today. Michael's here today. We got a full house.
Right on.
All right, so you're in Tampa with the UCLA women. We had Corey Close on yesterday. Curtis, explain to me why UCLA's a number one seed in the tournament. They were number one most of the season, and UConn's favored tonight by 7.5 points. Make sense of that for me.
Well, I'll quote Gabriella Hawkes, quote, "It pisses me off." But I will say I really just think it's history. I think it's the fact that UConn is here for the 24th time in a Final Four, looking for their 12th national championship. And I think that's part of it. I think UCLA didn't play its greatest game against LSU, but still won. And that's the only thing I can make sense of.
Do you get the sense, like in terms of the vibe around the game or whatever, that anybody is given UCLA a chance, or does it just feel like it's UConn women's, Ariama, everyone just thinks it's inevitable?
I think people here, people who know women's college basketball, give them a real chance, obviously because of the height differential with Lauren Betts. And the other thing, quite frankly, if there's a weakness in UConn's game, it's rebounding, which is UCLA's strength. So I think people close to it do, but across the country, gamblers, I think they're just going with history.
UCLA has the best, most dominant big player in the game in Lauren Betts, third greatest center in UCLA history, regardless of gender, behind Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton, of course. Does UConn have anybody who can deal with her on the inside?
I don't think so, Michael. But I will say they've got Paige Beckers who can shoot from the outside, and as great as a shooter as she is, and I'm telling you, the rotation on when she shoots the ball is so pretty. But her IQ is off the chart, and she can bring people in and then kick it out. And I do want to say this. I think it's really important for your audience and just for not just UCLA fans, but fans in general. I am so proud of Lauren Betts for discussing what was a really hard thing, her mental health. And when you think about it, Michael, I don't know how tall you were at 11 years of age, but for a woman, when she was 11 years old, still in junior high, she was already 6 feet tall. she was in third grade. She was 5'8", and that caused her to have issues with being embarrassed of her height. And for her to come out and talk about this, and I can't say this strong enough, the coolest thing I've seen between Spokane and here is how Lauren Betts signs every single autograph.
There you
and
go,
I know
Michael.
that's a big thing for you, Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, and she'll stay out there 20 minutes until coach goes, we got to go. We got to go.
It's Kurt Michael told me that Magic used to do that, that the team wanted to leave, and Kareem was steaming, and Magic would wait and sign every so,
not so much Simon. Magic would talk to the high school reporter in the locker room. Man, let's go. What are you doing?
Yeah, good for him. Kurt Sandoval is our guest from ABC7. Curtis, it dawned on me when we were texting this morning that you and I have been doing this for a long time. I can't think of a time where they would have sent either one of us, and we've worked for ABC, NBC, CBS, we've worked for every combination of letters you can think of, send us to cover a women's tournament, let alone 2 weekends in a row. They sent you to Spokane. Now they're sending you to Tampa. What do you think? Did that happen with Caitlin Clark? Is that when the tide shifted? Because I'm glad the women are finally getting their due.
Totally, John. And I think that's a great point because you're spot on. Back in the days when we were both in San Diego, and even my early days at ABC7, and you were at KCAL, you're spot on. They wouldn't have. But it is Caitlin Clark. And now what it is, it's Juju Watkins and Lauren Betts and the women's game. And it, in the TV world, that female demographic, 25 to 40 is a big player. And that's why they get good ratings. To your point, back in the day, the women's national championship wouldn't be on ABC at noon on a Sunday, but that's what it is.
Yeah, it'd be on ESPN2, Kurt, on like a Wednesday night.
Exactly. And I know you guys are just great basketball fans, as is a lot of your audience. And I'm not saying this to, blow UCLA's horn or USC's horn, but I'm telling you, the women's game, if you appreciate fundamental basketball, A, it is so good to watch. And B, when I was in Spokane, I was telling our photographer, Brandon Carrillo, this. I was like, dude, look at the stands. It is packed, and people just loved it. It's really cool to watch.
Yeah, Michael, this has been your argument for years, that the women's game, in a lot of ways, is more pure than the men's game because of the fundamentals, right?
They have to rely on fundamentals because they don't have the athleticism to just jump over everybody.
Right. And Kurt, I'm super into it. For the first time, I told Andy this yesterday, for the first time in my life, and it happened organically, I didn't go out and set out to do this, I watched more women's games in the tournament than men's games, which I would have bet you money, Curtis, I never would have done. And it just kind of worked out that way for all the names, Andy, that he mentioned. I'm rooting for Kiki Rice. I'm rooting for Lauren Betts. I want to see Jaime Jaquez' sister do well.
Okay, when you just said names, this is something that just kind of dawned on me. And I remember a couple days ago, the four of us, we were talking about the WNBA and how you have to stay in the W for a few years. You can't leave early.
Or in college.
Yeah, in college. In college before you go to the WNBA. And putting aside whether or not you think that's the way it should be or shouldn't be, it may give the women's game an advantage that the men doesn't have just because you end up becoming more attached to these players. Like
we used to, right?
Like the storylines actually develop now with the women that don't develop as they do with the men, or the teams have continuity now that you don't have with the men.
And Curtis, we had Corey Close on yesterday, and she made that point. She said that I think one of the reasons the game has taken off is that for better or for worse, personally, I think the girls should be able to leave whenever they want. But they can't right now. For better or for worse, Kurt, this is what the teams that you and I covered 20 years ago with Russell Westbrook and with Drew Holiday and they stayed for a while. And so we've gotten to know these girls, and that's why we're all rooting for them.
And that's not John, we're not old, but we're just not young.
Perfectly said, by the way.
Does any coach...
In the 80s, that's the way I remember college basketball. I remember Chris Mullin and, Georgetown with Patrick Ewing and and Mark Jackson. And I remember those guys being at their universities for 4 straight years, and that's why you fell in love with them. And I'll tell you, on top of that, do you know how good UCLA and USC are going to be next year? USC brings back Juju and 7 freshmen, and UCLA is going to bring back almost every single one of these players, plus Lauren Betts' sister, who just won the MVP in the McDonald's All-American game.
Wow. Does any coach walk more miles during the game than Corey Close? That woman is up and down those sidelines, man. They don't need a seat for her.
She is Jim Valvano-esque in that way. She is up out of that chair.
She is hyper.
And I'll tell you just one more great story about this game tonight. 13 years ago when UCLA hired Corey Close, and she may have brought this up yesterday about, going to Gino and her first year when they didn't make the tournament at UCLA, and she calls him up and asks if she can come visit and see how an elite program works. And Gino said yes. And how secure do you have to be in your program to say, yeah, I'll invite a coach from another school across the country to come see how we do it. And since then, they've become best of friends. They coach together with USA Basketball, and I just think it's another phenomenal ingredient in not just women's basketball, but tonight's game.
See, he's nice, by the way, Gino Auriemma, to everyone but Michael. Michael's the only person Gino Auriemma apparently doesn't like.
I don't like him. He called me an idiot.
But he's very confident. Pepe, what do you got?
And Kurt, John Wooden said long time ago, the great John Wooden said, that the women play better basketball than the men because of the fundamentals. This is nothing new.
John Wooden said that?
Well, yeah, he did.
Well, and the other thing, Curtis, is there may not be a lot of dunks and there may not be a lot of alley-oops, but man, is it fun to watch games when they get down to the last 4 minutes and it's tied.
No question.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Kurt, I've been jealous of you for a long time for about a lot of things, so just add this to the list that you get to go to the game tonight. I'm happy for you.
Well, right back at you, man. Listen, you're killing it on Lakers, and for people who don't know, John is my brother from a different mother, and I just love you guys. So, should be pretty fun if the Warriors and Lakers play in the first round, eh?
Well, that's what it would be if the season ended today. So, Kurt, I would tell you to travel safe, but I don't want you to have to travel until Sunday or Monday. So stick around for a few days, will you?
Amen.
All right, man.
Go UCLA.
All right, have fun. Thanks for coming on.
See you guys.
All right, there's Kurt Sandoval. And a reminder that later today we're giving away a pair of Austin Reeves signed Rigorer shoes. His all-new AR2s from Rigorer. I had the chance yesterday to meet the Rigorer team. They're all out here from China. And Michael, who's a former Chinese pro baller, founded Rigorer, has great passion for the game. We bonded over the fact we both love Austin. These guys care about making a shoe that truly stands out. And one thing about Rigorer, they're affordable. Price these out against some of the other big shoes from the traditional lines where you're paying $300-$400. You won't pay that at Rigorer. So whether you're just hooping or you want to see Austin's look, the AR2s have you covered. Head over to Rigorer.com, RIGORER.com. Step up your game with the AR2s. Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
LAFC's homegrown hero, Nathan Ordaz, is cooking up this year.
Racing towards the 18, shot from 22 and in! Ordaz has scored, it's a golazo!
After the win over Inter Miami, the black and gold are back to MLS play tomorrow in Houston.
First of all, we have to focus on Houston, and then after that, it's about the second leg in Miami, and hopefully we can take it.
LAFC visit the Houston Dynamo. Pre-game starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gat today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergat.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergat.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game, avnergat.com.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room. Now open 24/7. Enjoy Century Bar and Grill's flavorful menu for lunch or late-night dinners. Catch up with friends on game days while watching your favorite teams, or unwind and enjoy live music and crafted cocktails inside the Rays Lounge. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, located next to SoFi Stadium, the Forum, and the all-new Intuit Dome. Hollywood Park Casino must be 21 plus to enter. For more info, go to playhpc.com.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mason, Ireland, on 710 ESPN.
Shohei Ohtani and I have something in common.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
I don't believe
we do.
Does he call in sick a lot?
No.
Okay.
Right now, more of Mason in Ireland on 710.
Mason in Ireland. Michael Thompson is here. Pepe Montilla is here. Andy's in for Mace. Laura's here. Brian's here. We're going to get them involved in What's Up, Fool in about 10 minutes. Michael, you said last night after the game, this was the most disappointing loss of the Lakers' season.
By far.
Why?
Devastation.
I was so ticked last night driving home thinking about this game. So excited, so pumped we'll be all day for that game, weren't we? Because of what was at stake.
Yeah.
Playoff seeding, division rivals in town, legendary players on the floor, Luka, LeBron, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and, of course, Jimmy Butler, all Hall of Famers. This game had so much hype. TNT was there. Everything was built up for this. You couldn't have a more perfect scenario for a matchup like last night, Kamenetsky. And the Lakers came out and laid not a chicken egg, they laid an ostrich egg in the biggest, most hyped game of the year.
Now, you disagree with all of that, right?
I think the Lakers have played way worse this season.
I know that. I'm not talking about playing worse. I'm talking about the significance of the game.
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Forget about how they played against Charlotte.
Yes,
Nobody cared that they lost to Charlotte 3 months ago, okay? Big deal. But because of that game last night was a freaking... It was the marquee. It was the main event. This was Ali Frazier last night, and Lakers showed up like they were a sparring partner.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? This wasn't an embarrassing and horrible loss.
It was a bad loss with ramifications.
You think losing to Charlotte was worse than last night?
I said I think they played worse than they played last night.
You missed the point. I know they played worse than some other games. Of course, we're shocked at some of the games they lost. But last night, with everything on the line and so much hype around the game, you come out and play like that?
But you got LeBron and Steph.
I don't care. You don't understand?
That's part of the hype.
This was
that's
like
part
the
of the
game.
LA Frazier.
I know the Dallas game.
Let's get into some specifics. How did they get out rebounded when the Warriors played nobody taller than 6'7"?
Because the Warriors were gang rebounding. They were sending 5 guys in. A lot of rebounds came out long and everything, so they beat all the Lakers to the 50-50 balls. They weren't like rebounds right under the rim where the tall guys
and
were.
you know what? The anticipation. The Lakers don't play with anticipation. The ball goes and they look.
They were quicker to the ball. They were faster to the ball, more athletic at times to the ball.
At one point last night, Michael and I we were talking, and Michael said, I said, they're down 15. They're not defending. This game is a blowout. And Michael goes, don't panic yet.
No,
and my
response,
still
26 minutes to play. Oh,
right.
It was still like 20
But my
minutes to
response
play.
was, I said to you, I'm not panicking. I think they're lethargic. I think they don't have the energy.
And how do you explain that in the
have.
game like last night?
Right.
With so much on the line and with so much hype. This was it. This was the game. Did you see all the people, the celebrities at the game last night?
Yeah.
The who's who of LA was there.
Okay, so Michael, if you're JJ Redick and you lose a game like that and it's a bad loss like you're describing, what does JJ say to them today?
Wake up. We got 6 games to play. If we want to hang on to the third, if we want to have a chance to get to 3, we got to go 6-0. I know we're going to Oklahoma City, the best team in the league, but we need to put a set of goal. We got to win these 6 games if we want to improve our standing, or if you just want to be satisfied where we are, then who gives a bleep?
And he has to do the hands like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hit the whiteboard like Pat Riley used to do to us, and we would lose 1 game out of 10.
I thought Pepe had a good point when he
That's
came.
how good we were.
He still scares you.
Michael,
yeah.
when Pepe came in, he made a good point.
No. How come I didn't hear it?
Brandon Pajemski comes down, hits a wide open 3.
Yeah.
Why did they give him 2 more open threes after he made the first one?
Because he's not Steph, he's not Clay, he's not Bradley Beal, he's not Booker. They don't figure, this Brandon Pajemski, when has he ever done this?
Yeah, but I mean...
He did it last night.
But I mean...
Okay, so the other game he was 0 for 4. He didn't score.
So you let him free?
No, but they didn't think he was going to keep it up, but of course he did. He had one. He had a night. Give him credit.
Andy went into this in detail in the first hour. But we brought this up a lot last night, Michael. First half, they score 47 points. They look completely out of sync offensively. Second half, they score 69 points, and they were much better. And it's because they started attacking the basket. Why is it just NBA basketball in 2025, if you have an open 3, you have to take it? Should I just accept that?
Yeah.
Because they kept trying to get in a 3-point shooting contest with the Warriors.
Yeah, but so I've seen the Warriors shoot horrible. I mean, Steph was, I've seen him go 1 for 10 from 3. It happens. But last night, Pajemski set this, then Steph only had 4 points at one quarter. You know that? He got 30, and then with 37.
He went nuts in the fourth.
Part of keeping up with the Warriors is you can't trade 2s for 3s. Like, you do need to take a certain amount of 3s if you're going to catch up with a Warriors team that's shooting 40-something from behind the arc.
I think I think you have to make a decision. You either need to defend the 3 when Golden State shoots it to take that advantage away, Andy, or you need to try and keep up with them. And keeping up with them is crazy because they have Steph.
Right, but they actually shot the ball from 3 well last night. They actually did it well. Like, the biggest problem they had wasn't whether they were attacking or whether they were shooting 3s. The biggest problem they had was they were giving up too many offensive rebounds.
Yep,
that's ultimately what did them in. Like, the idea of 2s versus 3s, to me, is missing the point. That's not what did them in.
I agree with you, and I can think of several
Do you ever
times when
disagree with
the
anybody?
ball goes 1,
Besides
2,
me?
3 times.
Do you ever disagree with anybody besides me?
No. Michael, how come you're not doing your hands like that?
I do love the claw. I love Michael's new claw.
You know
I
what?
was so frustrated watching that game.
Get some maracas for him.
Yeah, all right, I'll do that. That's why I say it was a bad loss, the worst loss, Kamenetsky, because of what was at stake. Yes, I know they played worse, but nobody remembers they played bad against Charlotte.
Okay, so, Michael, the Nuggets are a half game ahead of us. The Warriors are a game behind us. Who do we want to win that game tonight?
I don't care. Man, listen, you can't
So what
be
do you mean you don't care? You want Denver, so Golden State stays back.
Yes. So you scared of somebody?
But wait, we're chasing.
I'm scared of you.
We're chasing Denver.
Yeah, but I mean, you.
I want the 3.
No, you keep Denver. You keep Golden State away.
It's
from
more
you.
important to maintain the 2 than get to the. I mean, it's more important to maintain the 4 than get to the 3.
Wait a minute.
Like,
so
you don't want to. If you don't have the 4, you can't get to the 3. So you have to at least stay in the 4 in order to get to the 3.
Okay, but the question is, who should Laker fans root for tonight?
Denver. Denver, because you want Golden State to
I
far.
think Golden State.
So, Pepe, are you afraid of the Warriors? Are you like Canelo, who's afraid of David Benavidez? Afraid of your number 1 contender? Are you scared of the Warriors, Pepe? Is that what you're saying?
Michael, listen to this, okay? The only person that I'm afraid of is you.
Why?
Okay?
Because you're irrational.
Yes.
Because your hands are like that, and then I think, oh, he's going to attack me.
Right. Reading a comment right.
Oh, I'd like to put these hands around your neck.
Reading a comment right now in the YouTube Mason and Ireland show. MT was a solid backup center in his playing days, but had an ugly ass looking shot, but was fairly effective.
I shot 50% from my career. What does it want? Once we look pretty and shoot 30%?
No.
Okay, I'll try that next time.
Yeah.
Oh, there. How's
Well,
that look?
there's a great story that John.
Jeez.
Second time we filled a John Wooden story today on the show. John Wooden is recruiting at the time, Keith Wilkes,
Yeah.
who went on to be Jamal Wilkes.
Great
And
player.
Jamal Wilkes comes out and shoots that crazy
Yep.
over his
Yep.
head shot.
Yeah.
And John Wooden goes, "Who taught you how to shoot like that?" And he said, "One of my coaches when I was little." He goes, "Shoot 5 more." Shoots 5, all 5 go in.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'm not changing it.
Exactly.
It's unconventional."
That's right.
It's like Sean Marion. Remember he had that weird chest
That's
shot?
why I got so mad at Tiger Woods. He kept changing his swing after winning
After
like 10
winning,
majors.
yeah, right. After
what
winning,
are you doing?
and by the way, after winning the majors by like 15 strokes, that is crazy.
Pepe,
so
scared of the Warriors. I can't believe you,
But-
Pepe.
It's not that I'm scared.
So,
it's just,
let's
the
play
way,
Denver. Let's go play Jokic
Andy,
then.
If Denver loses, we are the 3.
It depends on what happens with the rest of the season. Like you don't.
Well,
get
let's assume tonight we win and they lose. We're the 3
for the time being. There's
Right.
still more games to go.
Yeah, but I'll take
mean,
whatever I can get.
By the way, this game's in the
You were
fridge.
talking about the schedule.
No.
You would.
Yeah.
You've been
what about
banned
Denver?
from
What?
saying the
Denver.
word fridge.
Ireland, we're playing
Yes.
the Pelicans.
Yeah, no,
Shut his mic
don't
up.
say it. Don't say it.
Cam Minitsky's starting at point for the Pelicans. We can't beat those guys.
I think we're going to win, but do not use the word fridge around
No,
me. I'm
please,
going to walk
please.
out. All right, coming up next, What's Up, Fool? Brian and Laurel get in here and bounce a bunch of stuff off us. Pepe's here. Michael's here. And by the way, today, Andy Kamenetsky's maiden voyage in Potpourri of Lies.
So excited. Very
He
excited.
has never played Pepe's game, but that's happening today.
You'll be confused.
What do you got, Andy?
Listen all week to Sedano and Cap for the LA afternoon drive for your chance to win a pair of tickets to SoFi Stadium for this Saturday and the U.S. women's national team taking on Brazil. A rematch of the women's gold medal soccer match. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster or go to SoFiStadium.com. For more info, Sedano and Cap have your tickets to win this week from 3 to 6 p.m. on 710 ESPN.
What's Up, Fools next? ESPN LA.
What's up, fool?
It's the ultimate wrestling experience and your chance to win tickets to WrestleMania. 2 chances to win. Go to ESPNLA.com right now and register to be there Monday afternoon with O'Shea Jackson Jr., Cappy, producer Lindsay Baseball, and me at Hollywood Park Casino, broadcasting live from 3 to 6 p.m. Double your chances to win WrestleMania tickets in Vegas. Just go to ESPNLA.com right now and click the ultimate wrestling experience. Sucker. Bang!
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
So Mark Real from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. And our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
one of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles. East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment with their trendy spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
There's LeBron and Luka, the dynamic duo taking over the NBA.
I can't believe that we just had an assist, LeBron James to Luka Doncic.
But before that, there was the original duo, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Ireland has an idea. I do. I think it's stupid, but there are other ideas out there.
More Mason and Ireland right now.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Thanks, Brian. All right, I'm going to take it away. So the Dodgers always cause something to talk about. A lot of other fan bases get upset because they're saying the Dodgers are cheating because of what they're doing and all the players that we have. Bryce Harper was asked about the Dodgers, and his quote says, "I feel like only losers complain about what they're doing. The Dodgers are a great organization to play for. That's why players want to go over there and play for them. LA is a great city to play for." So if the players don't care, why should the fan bases care? The players clearly are giving them props. Then why do you care?
People get jealous of their team can't keep up with the Dodgers, and they buy the players they want. So it's just jealousy.
I will steal this from Jeff Passan. This is not an original John Ireland thought. What Passan says is the one tenet of professional sports that you have to respect is that every team has a chance. And because of the Dodgers, smaller market teams don't feel like they have a fair chance to win the World Series. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think everybody's got a chance. You guys could all do what the Dodgers are doing. But he said that's why you need to address how the Dodgers built this team. Because if you don't have hope on opening day, the sport gets ruined.
Okay, two things. First of all, the players are saying what they're saying about the Dodgers because they always want to leave the opportunity to join that team open.
Sure.
Like they're never going to say the Dodgers are ruining baseball because then
right.
you can't ever get a contract from them. But as far as these other small market owners, I'm not going to say that they could all spend as much as the Dodgers. Like I recognize that the Dodgers have certain advantages, but they can all spend more than they do. And a lot of them are just using the Dodgers as the excuse to do the thing they want to do anyway, which is not spend.
Okay.
So screw them.
So I saw, John, you had sent this earlier, and I saw this a couple days ago about a survey that came out about Americans and how their food, So a new survey says 80% of Americans now consider fast food a luxury, which I thought was pretty interesting. And there is kind of a different, two-parter here. So is there a certain type of fast food that you consider one more luxurious than the other, like an In-N-Out over McDonald's, or is all fast food the same? And what's your thoughts on this, just the whole that?
So, for example, today I went to Rubio's. Is that fast food?
No.
Yes.
I ordered it in advance on an app. I picked it up in the store and ate it in my car.
It is fast food.
But it's a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
It's fast food.
But
all fast food restaurants are technically restaurants. I mean, McDonald's is a restaurant.
Well, I can pick up an order from Fleming's and pick it up. Is that a fast food?
That's true. That is getting
no, because it takes longer and they have
Lent time.
Michael, do you consider fast food?
It's not. Yes, that's the
luxury?
definition.
No, well, I guess it depends how much money you have, right? Maybe people talk about economics. Is that what it is? Because they can't afford it?
Yeah, fast food is getting more expensive. My order at Rubio's today was 2 tacos, chips and guacamole.
How
I got
much?
some extra chips. What do you think? I got a drink. What do you think?
$22.
28.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I tipped a little bit.
I think fast food is when you can just drive up and get it through like drive-through window.
Well,
you can't do that at Rubio's, can you?
You do that in most fast food.
But
places.
that's not cheap. That's going to add up after a few days. So maybe it is. Maybe you got to cut down on the amount of time.
I think the definition of fast food versus, say, Fleming's is just like when you sit down, will somebody take your order? Are you going to possibly space out your appetizer with your meal?
Yeah.
Like that sort of service, as opposed to you go to a counter, they give you food, you either sit down or you leave.
So stop eating your food fast, okay? Because you think that fast food is because you have to eat fast?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
No, I think fast food is food that's prepared fast.
Yes.
That's
No,
the
it's
difference.
because you eat fast, right, Pepe?
No. It's what he
Only in the
says.
Bahamas.
Fast food is like tung tung.
What's up, food? All right, guys. So today is Robert Downey Jr.'s birthday. I know he was mentioned earlier.
I think 60 today,
Big
right?
60, big
Wow.
6-0. And I knew a little bit about his past, not because I really followed him, but I actually had a professor who dated him when he was dealing with a lot of his drug substance abuse issues. And do you guys believe that he is one of, if not the biggest comeback story in acting from like substance abuse and all his issues?
Well, study Frank Sinatra. Sinatra was so forlorn when Ava Gardner left him that he tried to kill himself. And then like 2 years later, he won an Academy Award and released an album that went to #1. That's a pretty good comeback story. Robert Downey Jr., maybe modern day.
I mean, Downey was really down and out. He was in
Yeah,
prison.
he was in
I mean,
prison.
Remember, he when he was on drugs or he was drunk and he just went and climbed into some girl's bunk bed.
Yeah.
In his neighborhood, they left the door open, so he walked in and like, went to sleep.
I mean, there was a period where he was basically uninsurable. And, like, I remember Mel Gibson put him in a movie, I think it's called The Singing Detective, where he had to put up the money for that. When Jon Favreau wanted to cast him for Iron Man, you know, it was very lucky that Marvel was not Marvel then for Downey, because Downey was not considered anywhere close to big enough for that. But Iron Man wasn't considered that big of a property, Marvel not that big of a thing. So Favreau got to take a chance with Downey, and then everything took off.
I think it's one of the biggest one because he was really, really down.
It's actually a good question. Is there a better Hollywood comeback story than Robert Downey? I maybe not.
I mean, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
that's
she
a
was
good
down
one.
and out.
Drew
That's
Barrymore was
true.
definitely
It's
down
yet to
and
be
out.
told. Will Smith.
Maybe.
He'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, Will Smith's a super talented guy, but I mean, I'd be lying if I told you I got turned off after the slap.
I think
You
Robert
don't think
Downey.
there's no coming back for him?
I think Robert Downey
Probably.
is way more talented than Will Smith.
Yeah, Will
Downey.
Smith is
Pepe.
talented, but Downey's
Downey.
a better actor.
Pepe. Will Smith had a #1 album, a #1 TV show, and a #1 movie all in a 5-year stretch.
If we talk about
Downey
acting,
can sing.
acting,
But he could act too, Pepe. Will can act.
who?
Will Smith.
Will Smith won an Oscar.
But
Yeah.
Downey is way
So did Downey.
better. Downey got an Oscar 2 years ago.
Will Smith did Muhammad Ali. You didn't like that?
Well, yeah, but I mean, have you seen all the movies? Chaplin is one hell of a
They're
good
both
movie.
really
Yeah.
good actors.
Did you see King Richard? That he won the
Yeah,
Oscar for?
yeah.
He was,
He was great
really
in that.
good.
Yeah.
Come on,
Really
Pepe.
good.
No, have you
Is
seen
it because
all-
he's black?
Michael.
What?
What's up, fool?
Okay, so there's a couple of
So
shows
is Downey
coming
in
out.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, that's a good point. How did they get away with that?
He got nominated for an Oscar for that.
That's right.
A couple new shows coming out. So 27th season of South Park coming out this July. And then Fox just announced today that The Simpsons and Family Guy going to go for another 4 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my question here is, are we
Maggie
ever
Simpson's been a baby for like
Right.
30 straight years.
You know, a lot of these animated shows kind of get grandfathered in. They get away with a lot more stuff than you could do, on actual TV. Are we ever going to get to a point where they're going to kind of cut back on that, or is it because they are animated, they get the free range?
Animated in general, you get the free. Like, have you ever watched the show on Netflix, Big Mouth?
Oh yeah.
Big Mouth, and this is a modern animated show.
And
they
they
get
just
away.
say whatever they want.
Oh, they get away
Yeah.
with a lot on Big Mouth.
And Netflix?
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
Netflix
well,
show. It's
it's
very
not-
funny.
Yeah, it's a good question. You can hide behind animation a
You
lot.
like racist stuff?
They get away with a lot.
I like
Let's
that.
say they get away with a
Well,
lot.
because you can't cancel a cartoon character, right?
Really? You can't? Really?
Has one ever been canceled?
Not that I know of.
I know Hank Azaria stopped doing foreigners as part of his act on The Simpsons, but that was his choice.
Why would he stop that? Because he's good with accents?
Yeah, they
And
like
who would that offend?
he used to do Apu, the
Right.
the Middle Eastern
it's
store
not,
owner.
I think it's not even so much the idea of offending as it is like giving an actual Indian actor they have less opportunities for roles the opportunity to do something like that as opposed to
That's a
the
very
white
good
guy
point.
horning in on that type of role.
There
I think
you
that's really what a lot of it is.
All right.
Well, if you can do 20 accents, you can save money. Have one guy do them all.
Well, that's what they did, Michael.
That is what they did.
At one point, Hank Azaria was doing 7 different characters on The Simpsons.
Oh my goodness! If he imitated a Bahamian or a black guy, I'm supposed to be offended.
Do you guys all know this? Is it common knowledge that the person that voices Bart Simpson is a woman?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Wait,
Yeah.
seriously?
Nancy Cartwright.
I had no idea.
Yeah, she's really good.
She is, I think, Sabrina Carpenter's aunt.
No
Really?
way.
Sabrina Carpenter is related to somebody from The Simpsons.
Really?
No
Yeah.
kidding.
You know,
Wow.
we should take offense to that. Why can't they have a guy do Bart?
Yeah,
See what I mean?
Right.
From
We
the
should.
Bahamas.
Hey,
Right.
Michael, let's take up that cause. Michael and I believe
Yes.
that Nancy Cartwright is stealing
Yeah,
jobs from
You're right.
red-blooded men.
That's
She
right.
is her aunt.
Yeah.
Nancy Cartwright is Sabrina Carpenter's aunt?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, talented family.
That's crazy.
All right, Brian, is that it? You got one more?
I got one more.
You got one more. Go for it, Laura.
So
Make it a
I'm
good
going to play you guys this audio from Otani.
Okay.
It's very interesting. Here goes.
I usually say I can only do my interviews in Japanese, but I just hit a walk-off home run on my own, bobblehead night. Atlanta Braves, y'all are so poverty. We haven't lost a game, and they haven't won a game. That team is so poverty. It made me want to tell everyone in English. Back to my walk-off. I literally pimped that. You couldn't write a better script. Guess what, Yankees? We don't need torpedo bats to be good. I literally own the whole league.
I
Okay.
That's not him.
love this.
Is it AI?
It's AI, of course.
Oh, God.
Okay.
AI scares the hell out of me.
But-
Michael, do you realize what AI is? They could take our
Yeah.
actual voices,
That's right.
transpose the words, and get us canceled in like 5
Yeah,
minutes.
that's not.
Yeah, that is dangerous.
It's
Man.
so dangerous because they can do so much with it. But isn't it golden? Sometimes you just gotta laugh on the things that they do with AI.
How much English does Otani speak? He must speak English by
I heard
now.
More, no, I heard more than I heard. It's like Fernando. He could do the interviews, but
Yeah.
he doesn't want anything lost in translation, so he keeps the interpreter.
And also, the more you maintain that you're not comfortable in English, whether you are or not, the less requests you get. And all of these guys don't want to do the interviews, and nobody's ever
Right.
going to call them out.
Especially
years.
the one-on-one.
Is that true, Pepe, that even though he played over here almost 20 years, Vladimir Guerrero could still not speak English?
It was really hard for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He never learned it, huh?
And he was a kind of a shy guy, but even in Spanish, he was shy.
I'm trying. Oh, I remember who it was, Pepe. Vladimir Guerrero, when he played for the Angels, won the MVP one year. And he would only do interviews in Spanish with an interpreter. And then he would walk off the podium and start having a full conversation in English. For Andy, the exact reason you said he didn't like doing media, and he could hide behind
And
it.
nobody's going to, no reporter's going to say, no, I demand you speak English, you can do this interview. Never going to happen.
People like that don't want to say the wrong thing.
All right, breaking news. This is very important. Laura, hit it.
The Padres have lost to the Cubs 3-1. So the only undefeated team, the Dodgers, baby.
And we take down the Phillies on Apple TV. Andy can actually watch it.
I can. I'm very excited.
Today at
What
like
time's the first pitch?
like 3:45, I think. Yeah, like right after we get off the air. And then tonight, Michael, we're going to have to watch UCLA UConn while we're doing the Laker
That's right.
game.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to multitask tonight.
So pay attention.
What time is the tip off for UCL? Is it 4? Or is it
6.
second game?
Second game, yeah, 6. And then our game is at 7:30. It may not. The UCLA game, I'm told, may not start until around 6:30.
Yeah.
Because the first game may run long. All right, coming up next, Jim Nantz, of all people, said something today. I'm particularly interested in what Michael thinks, since Michael was a former number 1 draft pick. Jim Nantz says that if college basketball keeps going down the road they're going, it may be gone in 15 years. We'll get into that next. ESPN LA.
Don't forget to join Cappy, O'Shea, Jackson Jr., and producer Lindsay for a special viewing of Monday Night Raw on April 7th, this Monday, at Hollywood Park Casino. There will be one grand prize winner, pair of tickets to WrestleMania in Las Vegas. RSVP for your spot at ESPNLA.com. Must be present to win. Must be 21 years or older to enter. Park Party and Play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room, now open 24/7.
Sedano and Cap. Today at 3 p.m. after Mason and Ireland.
Because it's always, Cap, you go so long, you take so long. And sometimes Lindsay and I will look at each other and look at our, like, is George really?
Now you're throwing Lindsay under the bus. She's not even here.
She's not even here,
Oh, no, I'm
Cap.
throwing her under the bus for sure.
Do I got to set up a story, or do I have to just ask a question? Because if I just have a question, I'm asking the
There was
question.
a question last week you asked to Dave McMiniman. It was 14 minutes until you...
Oh,
no,
shut
no, it was. No, it was 14 minutes. I recorded it. 14 minutes.
Okay, let me hear it.
14.
No, never a chance 14 minutes
Okay,
of him.
you know what? You're right. I'm sorry.
Because he wasn't even on for
13 minutes and 39 seconds. My bad.
Okay. It's not my fault your questions to Pash were not questions.
They weren't questions. It was a back and forth.
And Greg made this point. At the end, you'd be like, did you know that, Dave? Because that's a question.
Now
at the
George
end.
throwing Greg under the bus.
Wow. No, we did not throw Greg under the bus because it started with
All
me and
under the
Greg were
bus.
talking about it.
The LA Afternoon Takeover. That's Sedano and Cap.
On 710 ESPN.
Don't miss the historic showdown on April 5th as the USA Women's National Team takes on Brazil at SoFi Stadium. Celebrate the first ever women's sporting event at SoFi Stadium and experience the excitement of world-class soccer. Bring your friends, bring your family, and witness an unforgettable match. Tickets start as low as $58. But don't wait. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com or visit SoFiStadium.com for more info. Join us and be a part of history.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Join Cappy, O'Shea Jackson Jr., producer Lindsay, and I for a special Monday Night Raw watch party here at Hollywood Park Casino. You can win tickets to the biggest wrestling event in Las Vegas, plus a round-trip airfare and a one-night stay. You must be present to win and 21 years or older to enter. Park Party and Play here at Hollywood Park Casino.
ESPN.
KSPN Los Angeles.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Mason and Ireland on 710.
I mean, would you rather have good life or sex? Good sex. Good life, good sex.
Well, I got both.
There you go. That's
Good
the
for
correct
you,
answer.
Johnny I.
More of Mason and Ireland right now.
Mason and Ireland, 1 hour to go. Tonight we got Laker basketball, Lakers Pelicans. That's why Pepe and Michael are here. Andy Kamenitsky filling in for Mace. We've covered a lot of Lakers stuff today. Dodgers play later today in Philly. The Padres have lost, so the Dodgers have a chance. Hey, Laura, turn that sound around, that Shaq sound around. We'll play it next segment. Okay, but Michael, in this segment, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. You went to the University of Minnesota for 4 years, correct?
Yeah.
You were the number 1 overall pick in the draft. If you came out today, chances are you would go into the transfer portal at least once. You'd get a big NIL check at some point.
I'll get that. Transfer? No, I wouldn't have left Minnesota, but I'll get some nice deals.
Right. Jim Nance has
As
a
opposed
thought.
to the ones you got.
Well, yeah.
I just want you.
Tostitos.
Yeah, that's right.
Michael, I just want you to tell me if you agree or disagree with Jim Nance says here.
Future of college basketball.
Yeah.
That may not live as we know it another 500 years. It may not live another 15 years because the portal and the NIL, it's difficult. I don't want to paint it doom and gloom. I don't want to say it's about to be extinct. It's not going to be. But what we knew it as, what we grew up with, that model doesn't exist anymore. And some people have a real problem with that.
Is he right?
No, he's been an old fuddy-duddy. So all the coaches can jump from team to team every year for the big prize, for the big money, but players aren't allowed to make money on their name and on their talents. Come on, what's he want to go back to the old days where if you buy a kid a hamburger, you're going to be on probation? Come on.
All right, here's my argument. I want you guys.
hate that stuff.
Okay, here's my argument. I want you guys to tell me if this would fly. Okay. I think what's happening now is, particularly in college football, kids are accepting NIL deals. They're taking the money, and they're either playing 1 year and then taking the next best offer, or in some cases, they take the money and then leave.
That's what coaches do.
Right.
So why are you against the players doing it?
So here's what I want to do. I want the players to sign contracts. So
coaches sign contracts.
Right, but Michael, the reason coaches leave is because the new school pays the buyout. So here's what I'm saying. You're Michael Thompson in 2025 instead of 1973.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm Bill Musselman at Minnesota. You like me, I like you. I'm going to give you $1 million to come to Minnesota. But you sign a contract that says, as long as you're a college basketball player, you play for me. You can't, if you accept the terms of the deal, if you accept my money, my offer, then you have to honor it. You just can't go to 4 different schools in 4 years.
That sounds good.
Would that work?
No.
Why?
Because then you lose Cooper Flagg. You lose other players.
Why would you lose Cooper? He can always go to the NBA.
Oh, maybe not. You'll lose some big recruit
so
says, I can't leave if I change my mind.
No, you can leave to go to the NBA.
But
you can't leave to go to another school.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Making a kid a prisoner for 4 years.
No, being a prisoner
you
for
get
$1 million.
I like freedom of choice. If somebody does, if I'm at Auburn, all of a sudden, you know what? I'd rather go to Florida. I don't want some kid who's playing for me who'd rather go someplace else. Go.
No, but I
go
mean,
have fun, son. I'll replace you with somebody else.
It's not being in prison because they're giving you money, and then you sign.
But they're still holding you captive if you're not free to do what you want to do.
Andy, what do you think?
I think for what Nance is talking about, I think you're correct. The NIL, you're not putting that toothpaste back in the tube.
I agree.
Nor should you. Like for so long, it was way out of balance with the money that was being generated off these players who sometimes where they were restricted for getting a job, things like that. Like that was way out of balance. But what Nance is talking about, and what I do think is actually hurting the college game, is the transfer portal has made it so guys migrate so much, you don't get attached to programs as a fan. But I think they still should have the access to the NIL money. So if you put in these contracts that you have to stay a certain amount of time, not counting the NBA, but at the university, and you make it contracted, you have to let these guys have agents, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think you'll end up with more continuity at the school while the players can still get the NIL deals and the money. It's basically the best compromise because I think right now the interest in college basketball and college football is dropping to some degree because you can't get attached to your team at all. You don't get attached to the players. There aren't any storylines anymore.
Because the money is the one that is ruling everything.
You're ruling or ruining?
Ruining and ruling everything.
Yeah, I don't think it's ruining anything. I think the problem is the migration. It's not the money.
I'm in favor of the players getting paid. But I think there has to be some type of contractual agreement.
Yeah.
So if you come to that university, you can't leave once you take my money.
No, if
I sign the contract, I am contracted to you for that season. So in your case, I gave you $1 million to come to Minnesota. I'm giving you $250 in the first year. If you take my $250, you cannot leave to go play for another school.
I don't like that at all.
Now, if you want to leave at the end of the year and sit out a year, yeah, you can. But I think that we have to restrict player movement. Danny Hurley said last year when he won the title, he said 5 or 6 of his guys went to the NBA. He brought in 5 or 6 new guys. He says already this season, in the middle of the season, he knew that 6 of his players were leaving at the end of the year. He knew how much money they were getting, and he knew where they were going. How does Danny Hurley rebuild his team?
Go out and recruit. That's what's called recruiting. But so you want to force a kid to stay with you. You know he wants to leave to go to another school. You're going to force him to stay there and play for you?
No, but he wants to go to another school for the money.
Michael, in that year, if he wants to go,
No, I mean like this. The year is over. Here comes the off season. He said, Coach, I want to transfer.
you played for me that whole year.
Yeah.
And I gave you $250.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, see, I
thought you meant they were stuck there for 4 years.
No.
I don't think they should be stuck 4 years, but I think what you're talking about, John, doesn't really solve the problem, because if guys can keep transferring year to year to year to year to different schools, I think you're left with the same situation that Nance is talking about.
Highest bidder gets the best guys.
Again, I don't even have a problem like in a vacuum with guys going after the highest bidder. I'm talking about the effect on college sports in terms of the interest level. Like in a vacuum, does it bother me if guys bounce around? No. I'm just saying if you want to try to address the thing Nance is talking about, you need some type of continuity, and I think you can get that continuity
because of the fan base.
Well, I think,
but your fan base has more allegiance to the school, the college. I went to Minnesota, so I don't care if some kids.
But Michael,
you
get a chance
from Minnesota.
Kids like that. Kids have allegiance to players. You and I have allegiances to teams. Kids that are in their 20s, they'll tell you
totally.
Cooper Flag. They're not Duke fans. They're Cooper Flag fans. They're not Iowa fans. They're Caitlin Clark fans.
You saw it yesterday. You saw that yesterday. Yeah. Half of the people were rooting for Curry.
Yeah.
And the rest were.
Yeah, but college is different because you root for your college, even if players come and go.
Ramona's with me. She just says, "Got to do contracts like every other contract." Yeah. All right, coming up
next. Put these things under contracts. There's stipulations. All that stuff.
A byproduct of this. Yesterday we talked about the fact that Dion wanted to play a spring game against Syracuse, and the NCAA shut it down. And that a lot of these spring games are being canceled. There's another coach that's zagging where everyone else is zigging. And Shaquille O'Neal has a theory on why LeBron has been able to play as long as he has. You're going to be surprised at what this theory is. We'll get into both those things next. First, let me tell you about BBGO. BBGO is the official game day snack of the Lakers. When it's time to cheer on your team, fuel up with something delicious. With BBGO, and the best thing about this is you just throw it in the freezer and it's there whenever you need it. You get mouth-watering Korean snacks and meals in minutes. Whether you're hosting a watch party or relaxing by yourself, BBGO makes it easy to enjoy authentic, bold flavors without much effort. Keep your freezer stocked with BBGO's delicious range. My favorite is the Mandu, M-A-N-D-U. The largest, juiciest dumplings you'll find anywhere. Full of savory fillings and crispy on the outside. Perfect for game time. BBGO isn't just about great snacks either. It's a whole new level of flavor. They like to say minimum effort, maximum taste every time. You can find BBGO in the freezer aisle of all major grocery stores. So grab your BBGO, get ready for the game, and make every day delicious. BBGO, making the whole world more delicious one bite at a time. Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
It's the ultimate wrestling experience and your chance to win tickets to WrestleMania. 2 chances to win. Go to ESPNLA.com right now and register to be there Monday afternoon with O'Shea Jackson Jr., Cappy, producer Lindsay Baseball, and me at Hollywood Park Casino, broadcasting live from 3 to 6 p.m. Double your chances to win WrestleMania tickets in Vegas. Just go to ESPNLA.com right now and click the ultimate wrestling experience. Sucker. Bang!
Hey, it's producer Lindsay, and you know I'm a huge
Join Cappy, O'Shea Jackson Jr., producer Lindsay, and I for a special Monday Night Raw watch party here at Hollywood Park Casino. You can win tickets to the biggest wrestling event in Las Vegas, plus a round-trip airfare and a one-night stay. You must be present to win and 21 years or older to enter. Park Party and Play here at Hollywood Park Casino.
Is this Sabrina Carpenter? Yeah, it is very popular. All right, so yesterday we were talking about whether or not a spring football game is a good idea because all the other schools can see your backups and then come in and offer them big money and get them to leave. And we talked about how Deion said, screw that. If they want to leave, let them leave. I want to have a spring game. And he offered to play against Syracuse, and the NCAA shot it down. Kenny Dillingham is the coach at Arizona State. He feels exactly the opposite way that Lincoln Riley does. Lincoln shut down USC's spring game because he doesn't want players to be seen by other schools and then potentially rated. Kenny Dillingham looks at it completely differently. Here's his position on spring games and letting other people come to your practices and see your kids.
It's just the more you can make your players, there's a reason you guys are out here other than to get you guys content. Our players, things are getting filmed. Have a day off. Lose in a one-on-one round. It's going on social media. Like, you can't just take a day off because everybody's going to see it. You can't just sit out a rep. And in today's day and age, right, you need as many things that can motivate guys. Guys got to know there's pressure always on them in practice. Practice cannot become complacent. It has to be like a game. So having, 1,000 fans out here in the field watching and cheering, it just gets the energy level up. It puts the pressure on a little bit. Some of the younger guys, it's what we're trying to create every day in practice, just a little bit on steroids.
All right, Michael, if you were a head coach, football or basketball at a college, would you open your practices or close them?
I would open my practices. I don't understand why coaches don't understand this, Andy. When I came into the NBA, we practiced at the Jewish Community Center. That was a private club. They would have let you in.
Andy was in it. Yeah.
They would have let you in, Kamenetsky. It was a private club, but it was open to the members, to the members, so they can come in and watch us practice. And what that does, Ireland, is it makes you want to practice harder because you don't want the public to come in and say,
you don't want to get embarrassed.
Yeah, that Thompson's a lazy bum, man. He doesn't even work hard in practice. So maybe you wouldn't do it all the time, but if I was coaching the Lakers, I would invite the public to come in and watch practice. And I tell you, it makes players work harder.
Pepe, open or close practice if you're running the show?
Open practice for the reasons that you're saying. It's fun, and the players are going to be motivated.
That's right.
Unfortunately, Andy, I think Kenny Dillingham's going to be in the minority because coaches by nature are control freaks.
Yes, they are. Paranoid.
They want to try and that's a better word for it. Okay, they want to try and control as much as they control.
Well, here's the other piece of this too that Kenny Dillingham brought up, and it's a double-edged sword. I totally agree with Michael and Pepe, like the idea that it'll raise the energy, it can raise the pressure, it can make it so these things are more lively.
Yep.
But you would have to institute a no phone rule.
Yeah.
Like you would have
these
to
days,
do that. I mean, because putting aside whatever pressure the players would feel about not wanting to go viral, you don't want to actually give your opposing coaches a literal look at what you're doing in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to make it so everybody puts their phone
in the basket.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cheater party.
Yes,
they pick up the phones. They put them in bags.
Yeah, exactly. You do something like that, like a hat check, but with your phone.
Right.
So if you guys ever done a dinner where everybody puts their phone in the middle of the table and the first one that reaches for their phone has to pick up the tab for dinner?
No, I've never done that, but I've heard people doing it.
Yeah, it's an easy win for me. If we did that, Michael, at a big Laker dinner, you know who would have to pay for dinner every time?
Bill McDonald.
Yep. Billy can't go more than 30 seconds without his phone.
Oh, yeah. He's eating in his phones like
he
this.
He would not. Billy wouldn't even agree to do it.
That's right. Yep.
He goes, wait, I have to put my phone in the middle of the table? No, I'm out.
Yeah.
But, okay, so the other thing I wanted to play for you guys is LeBron has had, even if you want to, Michael and I talk about this a lot. If you want to argue about who the greatest player in NBA history is, and you want to say it's Michael Jordan, you can make that argument. You want to say it's Kareem, you can do it. You want to say it's Bill Russell, you can do it. Magic, you can do it. Kobe, you can do it. LeBron, you can do it. If you want to argue who's had the greatest career start to finish, I think the answer is LeBron. He's performing at a higher level in year 22 than any player ever has. But Shaq thinks there's a reason LeBron has been able to have this career. This is the big podcast with Shaq. It runs about a minute. It's not what you think he's going to say. Here's Shaq.
Less physical. Right now, you get a flagrant foul, you get fined, suspended. Like, guys ain't even fouling hard no more. Back before I played, it was crazy. But when I played, it was crazy. But even before, like the 80s going to 90s, it was probably more physical then. But people get mad. It's just a product of what I see. I seen what greatness is. Been there, played with them. I don't see that all the time over here. So you want me to give these the same props I'm giving them? That shit will never happen. So you can call it hate if you want. But even with the word hate, like these kids that like to throw that word around. You ain't great, and I'm great. How the fuck I hate on you? You know, people say Charles and I, we're ruining the game talking about the product, because the product is fucking show me greatness. They can call it hate I want, but I ain't sucking these out just because they making $400 million. A lot of these can't play, and they know it. Just saying. Pick and roll, one-on-one. Can't play, dog. Joker can play. Giannis can play. Dame, a couple of these guys can play, but a lot of these can't play. Jason Tatum can play. He's all right. I'm not going to bash him, but Ben Simmons need to be arrested. $250 million for that boy. Get the fuck out my face. Robbing people, man.
Michael, what do you think? It's less physical now, so it's easier to play longer.
Two things. Bill Russell had the greatest career ever in NBA history.
With the 11 rings?
I'll call you right back. With the 11 rings and 13 years, come on. I mean, somebody match that. Then we'll have a discussion. Shaq is right about the league not being as physical. No question about that. He's right about a lot of guys in this league don't have great fundamental skills. They can't make a shot. They don't know how to take a 15 or 18 footer. So he's right about that. LeBron could play in any era. LeBron could play for 20 years in any era because of the way he his work ethic, the way he takes care of his body,
stays in shape.
Exactly. So so he could play in any era.
Pepe, David Aldridge, the Hall of Fame NBA writer, wrote an article last week in the Washington Post, and he asked this question. He said he made the point that NBA players have never been more talented. Their athleticism, Steph Curry can shoot from 40 feet in consistently. Jokic puts up monster numbers. They've never been more talented. So why is everybody complaining so much?
Because they're not more talented. Some of them, not all of them.
I was just going to tell you this. I mean, the names that you mentioned, they're talented, but there are some players that
can't make a shot.
I mean, they cannot make.
Andy, what do you think?
Jump shot.
Okay, John, when you said that it wasn't going to be what you thought Shaq was going to say, I could have literally told you verbatim exactly what he was going to say, because it's the same BS, tired nonsense that we hear from Shaq and his generation all the time, as if there were no stiffs when he played, as if there were no guys in the league that were there just to foul Shaq 6 times.
I don't necessarily think it's generational. For example, Michael all the time compliments current players.
No, it's his that specific generation of guys like him and Barkley that were either in Jordan's generation or just behind Jordan, that all want to make sure that everybody knows Jordan's generation was the best. You know why? Because then you have the automatic justification and rationale for them never being able to beat Michael Jordan. That's why they all want to make sure everyone knows this. And Barkley, Shaq wants to talk about Ben Simmons being overpaid. He's a guy getting paid millions of dollars a year to endorse a product that all he does is crap on. Like that, you want to talk about robbing a league? He is robbing a league right now.
Right, but Michael, why do you think, if accepting Andy's premise that generation is super critical of today's
They're
players,
petty, they're jealous, they hate that these guys make more money than they did, and they're protective of the era they played in.
The league, Michael, is great.
Yeah,
you and I love these jobs. I mean, we nitpick, we talk about rules we'd like to change and stuff like that, but for the most part, isn't it true that the performances have never been better?
Yes. I see a lot of guys in the league who have no skills. And
there's been dudes in every league.
No,
Michael, they did.
No, back in my time, it was 20 teams in the league. The talent was more condensed, and you had to be able to shoot and play defense and have.
But now the league is more
skills.
international, so you're bringing in more players from around the world who are just as
Michael,
skilled.
I'll just use you as an example. You've said Nikola Jokic is the best passer in the history of the NBA. You said Steph Curry is the best shooter
exceptions,
in the history of the NBA. You said Ja Morant is the most athletic guard in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
The underlying point of all those statements is the game has evolved to where the skills have never been better at the top. Now, if you want to make the argument that at the bottom there's still a bunch of stiffs,
you have to say that.
I'm not going to argue that. But at the top, the league, these guys that are performing have never been better. So why are we all complaining so much?
I mean, by that rationale, and I'm not saying it's your rationale, but I'm saying what you were saying.
It's David Aldridge.
So we're having an argument over the bottom 300 to 500 players in the league? Like, what are we doing? Well, that's just silly.
And the style of play too is all a cookie cutter. There's no creativity. It's all high screen, shoot a three. Players complain about playing like 9 games or 7 games in 9 days. Come on, give me a break. You're playing basketball. It ain't that hard. We get tired. Us old timers get tired of hearing the complaints about how tough it is to play basketball.
Michael,
and you guys flew commercial, which was a big deal.
And what Converse.
And I can promise you that the guys in Wilt and West and those generations, you know what they said about you guys?
What?
Soft as bleach.
You think so?
I promise
no,
you.
man, the 70s and 80s was rugged.
I promise.
Did you see that foul McHale did on Rambus? Did that look soft to you?
I promise those guys thought you were soft.
It is like that in every sport. Everyone
the game evolves.
Yeah, everyone said so-and-so is better or it was better than this. Because the only way that you can do that is if you can go into the past and take Messi and play against Pelé. Well, that's the only way.
Well, the greats could play against each other.
No, you don't know that. Because back in those days, they were breaking legs.
Do you think Pelé could play in today's soccer?
It'd be really hard because he
so?
wasn't that fast.
Michael, isn't Messi at his skill level more developed than Pele?
You better ask Mr. That's a great question.
No,
I mean, I'm not trying to diminish Pepe. I'm just saying that the best player in 2025, Pepe.
For me, the best player that I saw, I've seen in my life is Pelé, because Pelé created a lot of things that a lot of people copy. Okay, he was fast for his age, and back in the day, they played with real. The soccer ball was thick.
Yeah.
Now you just
touch it and it goes.
You can kick the ball
aerodynamic
from here.
There's also too this is one of the things that bothers me about what Shaq says. If you want to say the game is less physical now, that's fine. I mean, I think that's accurate,
and that's good.
That's fine. But the idea that these players couldn't handle it is projection. Like, you don't know that they.
And there's
couldn't.
no way to qualify.
Right? It's again, it's straight BS. And Shaq and Barkley and these guys, it's so tired. It's so tired.
All right, we got a break to give away a pair of shoes. We're giving away Austin Reeves' signed shoes. And then when we come back, man, Bruce Willis and Demi Moore have 3 daughters. They think something is normal that is clearly not. I'll throw it at you coming up next. But first, if you're looking for a car, you got to look for Toyota. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can go to your Southern California Toyota dealer or go to Toyota.com. No matter what you're looking for, a car, a truck, an SUV, any new Toyota, anyone, comes with Toyota Care. A no-cost maintenance plan covers all normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. So you can get Toyota Care, no maintenance for 2 years. You can get a car, you can get a truck, you can get an SUV. You gotta, if you're looking for a car, you gotta go check out Toyota. Toyota, we make it easy. Toyota, let's go places. ESPN LA.
What's on tap today on 710 ESPN? Thanks to Michelob Ultra. Lakers are back on their home court tonight against the Pelicans. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock, tip-off at 7:30. Here at 4, your afternoon drive on 710 or in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Only worth it if you enjoy it.
LAFC's homegrown hero, Nathan Ordaz, is cooking up this year.
Racing towards the 18, shot from 22 and in! Ordaz has scored! It's a golazo!
After the win over Inter Miami, the black and gold are back to MLS play tomorrow in Houston.
First of all, we have to focus on Houston, and then after that, it's about the second leg in Miami, and hopefully we can take it.
LAFC visit the Houston Dynamo. Pre-game starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
We've all heard mortgage rates have finally moved down. So if you've gotten a mortgage in the last 2 years, contact the Loan Exchange to check on lowering your mortgage payment. Today, the Loan Exchange is offering a 30-year fixed free closer loan at 5.99% rate and APR. That's right, there are no closing costs. Wow! You can lower your monthly payment without increasing your loan balance. Isn't it worth a few minutes of your time to find out how much the Loan Exchange can lower your payment? By the way, if rates go down further next year, you can do the same thing again without any closing costs. Call the Loan Exchange at 855-752-9944 or go to theloanexchange.com for a free closer 30-year fixed rate and APR of 5.99%. NMLS 1637539. Loan subject to credit approval. See website for licensing information, loan terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. Call 855-752-9944 or visit theloanexchange.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investment to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover train will quickly move guests between all terminals, the new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and a kiss and fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less. And trains depart every 2 minutes, beginning in early 2026. Learn more on this website, lawa.org/ESPN.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Mason and Ireland on LA's mega sports station.
I'm going to come out with something right here. I don't work as hard as John Ireland and have no interest in it.
Right now, more of Mason and Ireland on 710.
All right, Mason and Ireland. Laura, you know the details on this. We had 4 winners this week.
Yes, we did.
And this is a contest sponsored by Rigorer. That's Austin Reeves' shoe company.
Correct.
And we are giving away, Pepe's holding it up right now if you're watching on YouTube. We are giving away a pair of signed Austin Reeves shoes, the new AR2s from Rigorer. Laura, who won the shoes?
So Alex Boss, who won Monday, won the shoe, and we're trying
Congratulations, Alex!
We were trying to call Alex. So Alex, if you could hear us, give us a call because I tried and it went straight to voicemail.
All right, no worries, but Alex wins the shoes. We
Yes.
thank him for participating. And now, Laura, before I get to this other story, you wanted to bet some mythical money, and since it's Friday,
I did.
This is your last chance. What do you want to bet it on?
So this is my first mythical money of the year. I haven't made a bet.
Okay.
And I am going to take UCLA to beat UConn tonight.
And you get 7.5, which is good.
I'm going to take
How much you want to bet?
I'm going to bet $25K on UCLA.
I like it. All right, so if UCLA wins, Laura gets $25K mythical money. Who's mythical money sponsored by these days?
It's Chumba Casino. It is brought to you by Chumba Casino, your favorite online social casino. Play anytime, anywhere for free. For your chance to redeem some serious prizes, head to ChumbaCasino.com and let's Chumba. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, so I wanted to get this story in before we go to Potpourri of Lies because, Michael, I'm very curious at what your reaction is. You're very close with your family. You raised 3 boys. Now you're helping raise Roman, your grandson. And Roman has a sister, right?
Yeah, Maya.
All right, so you've got 2 grandkids. I read this article yesterday about Bruce Willis and Demi Moore have 3 daughters. Okay, these daughters are all in their 30s. So the rumor Willis is the oldest one, right, Andy?
I think.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, she is. Rumor says she still sleeps in bed with her mom, and she and her 2 sisters still take baths together they're in their 30s. She's talked about this on a podcast, and she says, I know other people might find that weird. I don't think it's weird at all. Michael, this might be the weirdest thing I've ever heard. In my 30s, taking a bath with like my brother.
Yeah,
what the hell?
That's the one that freaks me out. If she wants to sleep with her mother in the same bed, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that's kind of cute. They're that close. But taking a bath together with your brother or your sister,
crazy.
I mean, if Andy, you had little kids at one point. If your kids are little, I had Michael. Sure. Your kids were little. If the kids are under 10, sure, throw them all in the bath.
Under 5.
But 30s. Taking baths with your number one, it's friggin' uncomfortable.
What about you and Brian?
I was.
Did you take a bath together?
Yeah.
I mean, not since
last. Did you and Brian stop bathing together?
Probably last week. I don't know. Dawned on us last week. A little weird. In our I'm in my 50s. Here's what I think, though, and John, you sort of hit on it. Put aside the weird, not weird, different strokes, whatever. That must be one huge bathtub for like three adult
it
women.
It doesn't sound like she's talking about a jacuzzi. If they had a tradition where they all hopped in the same jacuzzi at night, no big deal.
I mean, are they putting their legs over the tub? Like, this feels physically.
Got to be a big tub.
This seems like
three of them.
It seems like an awful bath.
Yeah.
Putting aside whether or not you think it's weird.
It is.
It is weird, but it has to be a gigantic.
Yeah, it does.
Demi Moore and Bruce Willis.
They have
that's
a lot of money.
money.
Maybe they build a triple the normal size bathtub, and that's how they're pulling it off.
I don't think there's anything sexual about it, but it just seems weird.
No, I never thought of this as any type of anything sexually weird.
Right.
I just think it's logistically weird.
That's weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah,
Pepe, you got any siblings? You got any siblings, Pepe?
Yes.
Would you take a bath?
If my brother called me and said, I want to take a bath with you, I'd tell him to go pound sand.
Whoop-he-doo.
No, man, that's gross.
I just did
Is
a
that
Google.
gross, Laura?
I just did a Google search for like biggest home bathtubs, and what I'm coming up with is about 71 by 32 inch.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, there's another one that's 67 by 39.
Well, they can afford it.
They can't afford it, and these are expensive bathtubs.
And you need to have a big house.
You do have to have
Well, I have a feeling they have that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next is Potpourri of Lies. Andy, your virgin voyage on Potpourri of Lies. How have you prepared for this moment?
I have no idea what I'm getting into at all.
You'll be confused with the questions.
Pepe,
you got to read the envelope.
The envelope is here.
What does it say?
It says, Potpourri, with today's date, April 4th. Surreal and eclectic, easy for everyone. So easy that even useless dodo bird Michael Thompson was able to win last week.
That's right.
So that means if Michael can win, anyone can win, and we'll play Potpourri of Lies next.
Join Cappy, O'Shea Jackson Jr., producer Lindsay for a special viewing of Monday Night Raw on April 7th at Hollywood Park Casino. There will be one grand prize of a pair of tickets to WrestleMania in Las Vegas. RSVP for your spot at ESPNLA.com. You must be present to win. You must be 21 years or older to enter Party Play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room, now open 24/7.
Game of Games coming at you next. Pepe's Game on ESPN.
Join Kathy, O'Shea Jackson Jr., producer Lindsay, and I for a special Monday Night Raw watch party here at Hollywood Park Casino. You can win tickets to the biggest wrestling event in Las Vegas, plus a round-trip airfare and a one-night stay. You must be present to win and 21 years or older to enter. Park, party, and play here at Hollywood Park Casino.
Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game, avnergatt.com.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in L.A., Mason and Ireland.
Game of Games.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, no Mace today. It is the end of the show, and often Pepe Montilla's games spark a lot of controversy. Andy Kamenetsky has never played Potpourri of Lies. Pepe is opening the sealed envelope as we speak. Laura, while he's doing that, what are the standings in Game of Games for this month?
All right, April, Brian, you got 2, so you're leading the month. Pepe has 1, Ireland has 1, and Michael Thompson has 1. So I want to win 1 today, but I wouldn't be mad if AK takes it.
Okay, 5 players, Brian, Laura, Andy, Michael, and me. Pepe, what do we got for Potpourri today?
As usual, 12 questions, and as usual, Michael, stop complaining, okay?
I never do.
You were complaining.
Hey,
right
Michael
now.
is the defending champion of Potpourri.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, here we go.
First question, okay? First #1 hit for Michael Jackson as a solo artist. What was it? People Make the World Go Round, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, or Ben?
Brian.
I'll go A.
Laura.
I'll go B.
Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is B, right, Pepe?
Yes.
That's what I'm going with. Andy.
I'm going to go off the board and go Ben.
Michael.
Don't stop.
It's Ben.
Yes.
Of
Wait a
course
minute.
he would
Wasn't
get it.
Ben, didn't he sing Ben when he was in the Jackson 5?
No.
It's a single one.
Wow, did not know that.
Wasn't it like a TV
Andy,
movie or
you
something?
have the
Yeah, it was
lead.
about a rat.
It's about
Yes,
a rat.
that's what I thought.
You have the lead in Potpourri of Lies. Cherish this moment.
Yep.
You should have known that because it's about a rat.
Well, I knew it was a song, but I didn't think it was
Wait,
number
wait,
one.
Michael, did you miss that?
Oh, yeah, about
You
a rat.
should have known that because
That was
it's
a rat.
about a rat. All right, Pepe,
Okay,
what's
next. It's hard, Michael.
All right.
Who wrote the novel The English Patient? Michael Ondaatje, Harry Mulisch, or A.C. Bancher?
I've never heard of any of those names, Laura.
Well, I'm pronouncing them wrong, but I mean...
Pues yo no sé, pero I'm going to go with B.
Okay, I will go with Laura and say B. Andy?
I think it's the Andrach guy or Andrache.
Is that A?
A.
I think.
Okay, Andy's going A. Michael?
Andy looks like he's a studious guy. I'll go A.
Well, it's a total
Brian?
guess.
I will go A as well.
All right, 2 B's and 3 A's.
The A's won.
Yeah!
baby.
Okay.
This is how we play his game, Andy. We go A, B, or C.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
Okay.
All right, the
You
score
knew
is...
that.
No. I remember the movie. I've never read the book.
You,
All right,
no?
Andy, there's a Seinfeld episode about English patients.
Yes, I know.
Elaine, we're going to the movies. All right,
Okay.
Andy has 2, Michael 1, Brian 1, Laura and John Bupkis.
Michael, using your words, if you don't know this answer, I'm going to take your credentials away from you.
All right. My
Who
immigration,
am I going to do
immigration
the
credential?
game with? Come
What
on.
is the legislative capital of Sri Lanka? Okay.
Okay.
Colombo, Lucara, or Kotte?
This one's me. Colombo, Lucada, and what was the third one?
Kotte, the legislative capital of Sri Lanka.
I'll say Kotte. Andy?
C. Whichever one's
That's
C.
Kotte.
Okay.
Michael?
Colombo.
Brian?
Colombo.
Laura?
I'll go with the boy, Andy Cote.
It is Kotte, Michael.
Yeah!
Oh, so it's Colombo.
Andy,
Colombo
you're 3
is
for
a
3 and
executive
potpourri
and
alive.
judicial.
All I needed was one to not have the DeAndre, so I'm good.
Okay, Andy, you're first on this one. What's next, Pepe?
Okay. How many Oscars did the English Patient win? 7, 8, or 9?
It did very well.
Obviously, 7, 8, or 9. Just doing well.
I'm going to
7, 8, or
go 7.
Michael.
8.
Brian.
9.
Laura.
8.
I'm going 9.
It is 9.
Boom!
Okay.
Oh,
All right, Brian got it. I
Yep.
got it. Andy still has 6. Here's the score. Andy 3, Brian 2, John 2, Laura 1, Michael 1. Close game. Pepe, what's next?
Which president was featured in the no longer existing $1,000 bill? Grover Cleveland, Benjamin Harrison, or William McKinley?
Michael.
McKinley.
Brian.
Cleveland.
Laura.
McKinley.
I think it is McKinley. Andy.
I'm going McKinley.
You should have gone Cleveland.
Oh.
Whoa,
somebody got it.
Brian.
Brian
That's
is
Brian.
tied Andy.
I used to have a bunch of those, so I know.
Oh, shut up.
If you,
Sure
Did they
you did.
discontinue it
Potpourri
because
of
he
life.
died?
they
No, they
discontinued-
just because they were too easy to steal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is really hard. If you know this one, if you pay attention.
All right,
I talk
BC,
about
this is coming to you.
I talk about this a lot, okay?
Doris Day.
Zhu Wang is a famous Chinese woman.
Jujuan.
Zhu Wang
Okay.
is a famous Chinese woman. What is her profession? A pianist, a model, or a gymnast?
A pianist, a model, or a gymnast? Brian, which one?
Gymnast.
Laura.
Pianist.
I will go with Laura and say pianist. Andy.
Pronounce that
Gymnast.
Gymnast. Michael.
I think it's a gymnast.
What is it, Pepe?
It is a pianist.
Boom!
Yeah!
Way to go, Romo.
Thank you.
All right, I've tied for the lead, and Laura is 1. Hey, Michael, you're dead last. DFL. You have 1. Andy 3, John 3, Brian 3, Laura 2. Get with it over there.
Michael, I was talking to you about this lady a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
You didn't pay attention.
I thought you were talking about Red Panda.
All right, Pepe, what's next?
Who was the first Yankee pitcher to win a Cy Young Award? Whitey Ford, Bob Turley, or Ralph Terry?
Laura.
No sé. I'm going to go C.
You're going C. Whitey Ford played with Mickey Mantle. He's too old. Ralph Terry is C. Pepe?
Yes, and Bob Turley is B.
I've never heard the name Bob Turley, which makes me think it's him. I'll go Turley. Andy.
I'm also going to go Turley.
Terry.
No. You're going Ralph Terry.
Terry.
Whitey Ford.
Brian, you're going Whitey Ford. Laura, did you go yet? No.
I go C, whatever C was.
Terry.
Okay.
It is Bob Turley.
Yeah!
And he did it in 1958.
Boy,
Took
so he
that
did it in
long?
the Whitey Ford era. Yeah, that's interesting. All right.
That long.
Andy, you and I are tied with 4.
Here
we
comes
go.
the one that is expected
Wait, what
by
was C?
everyone.
Ralph Terry was C. You
Damn.
didn't get it.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Where was the great actress Claudia Cardinal?
Seriously?
Okay.
Claudia-
Never heard of him.
Me either.
Claudia
Not a clue.
Cardinal.
You heard of
Okay.
her?
Not a clue.
Okay, Claudia Cardinale.
Okay.
You know this one then. Anyways, Italy, Morocco, or Tunisia?
What? Say her name again.
Claudia Cardinale.
Italy, Morocco, or Tunisia?
I think Morocco's a weird one to put in there, so I'm going to say Morocco. Andy?
It's tricky because back then, a lot of times, actresses, their ethnicities and their names were completely made up.
Altered.
So I'm going to go Tunisia.
Okay. Michael?
I spent a lot of time in southern Italy, living in Napoli. A lot of Morocco migrate to southern Italy, so I'm going to go Morocco.
Brian?
Morocco.
Laura?
Morocco.
After all this, I'm not going to say what. You come out with the wrong answer. Tunisia.
Yeah! Oh, Andy's got the lead. All right, how many are left, Pepe?
That was number
8, right?
8.
Okay,
You
so
got
4
4.
left. All right, Andy, coming to you.
Andy, she was in the. I'll tell you in a minute. No,
He doesn't even
I don't even
know.
know who she is.
I
He's
know.
acting
I know.
so
He's
old.
going to
Pepe
Google it.
doesn't
He's
even
going to
know
Google
this.
it.
I don't know what
looking up
movie
now.
she's in.
I want to know.
Oh, she's coming up now.
All right, Andy, coming to you. Go.
Once upon a time in the West.
Oh, okay.
All right, Pepe, this is number 9 or number 8?
Number 9.
Okay, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Here we go.
What was the real name of Tina Turner? Anna Mae Bullock, Bettina Lou Jackson, or Louise Alita Johnson?
I'm first?
Yes.
First one. A.
Which was what, Pepe?
Anime.
Anna Mae Bullock.
Michael.
Anime.
Brian.
Anime.
Laura.
Unanimous. Anime.
I'll make it unanimous. Anime.
It is anime.
Yeah, Andy, you sounded very convincing.
I knew it, and I've also seen What's Love Got to Do with It a few times.
What's love?
All right, 3 left. Andy 6, John 5, Brian 4, Laura 3, Michael 2. You got it. Oh, you're out. Michael's out.
And here comes the
three
one
left.
that
Stupid game.
And here comes the one. Here comes the one that you should know,
Yeah.
but don't answer until
right.
the end.
Okay.
Oh, he's out.
Andy, you and I have to go first. Here we go.
What is the capital of Suriname? Belmopan, Paramaribo, or Pareichutan?
What's the country?
Suriname.
In South America.
Okay. Andy?
I don't even know what that is.
That's in South America.
Suriname is in
Do
Central
what me and Laura do. Just say A, B, or C.
B.
I have to go next. I will also say B. Brian.
C.
Laura.
You guys said B, and you guys are winning, so I'm going B.
What is
No,
the capital, Michael?
Capital is
He's looking it up. Just say it.
Paramaribo.
B.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
got it.
That was a total... I don't even know what country that is that you named. I have
Suriname is
no
in
idea.
the,
It's in
it's in
South
the
America.
Caribbean.
I have
Central
no
America.
idea
It's
what
by
that is.
Guyana.
Brian, you missed
It's
that?
bordered,
I did.
It's
You're
the top
out.
of Brazil.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian's out. It's
got
a three.
swallowed up
It's
by
a
Brazil.
it's a
Right.
3-horse race. Now, Andy, listen carefully. You have 7. I have 6. Laura has 5, and there are 2 left. So, Laura, you have to go opposite of me,
Okay.
Andy. Okay.
Got it.
Here we go.
Who's going to answer first?
Andy is first. You have 2 left, right, or 3 left?
You never heard Suriname?
All right, here we go.
Which Beatle wrote the song Old Brown Shoe?
Okay.
George Harrison, Ringo Starr, or Paul McCartney?
Old Brown Shoe. I think it's Paul McCartney.
He wrote most songs. Him and Lynn wrote most songs, so it makes me think it's either Harrison or Ringo. Old Brown Shoe. I'm going to say it's Harrison. Laura, that means you've taken Ringo?
I have to, right? Yeah.
Yep. Who is it, Pepe?
Harrison.
Oh,
Whoa!
it doesn't sound like Harrison usually sang the songs that he wrote, and
Yeah.
I don't remember
My
him
sweet
singing
Lord, and yeah. Okay, so Andy, me and you are tied.
Okay.
This is the last one. I have to go first. Laura, you're out.
Yeah, I think I had 5, so I didn't think I have to, but it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Pepe, what do you got?
Where did the quarterback Dan Pastorini go to school? The University of San Francisco, Santa Clara University, or San Jose State University?
Dan Pastorino?
Dan
Pastorini.
Pastorini played
I
for the
remember
Oilers.
him. I actually covered him.
He's a good player.
I don't know who
You
that
don't
is.
All right,
Come
so
on.
well, you can. I'm going
Stupid game.
first.
Okay.
So you can either you can force the tiebreaker
Sure.
if you want to. I'm going to say San Jose State.
I'm going to follow your lead.
Okay, we're both saying San Jose State.
Come on, you guys. Santa Clara.
Oh wow!
I don't know who he is, Pepe.
Okay. All right.
Now
know
you
who
get
he
it.
is.
I do,
Stupid game.
but I didn't know he went to Santa Clara. All right, what's the tiebreaker?
Okay.
You get something right with Andy? Or you can put it on a computer if you want.
Let me.
Here.
You need paper?
I'll write it on my hand.
Okay. Don't write on your hand here.
Okay. What was the population of Mexico City in 2020?
Ooh.
Mexico City.
Mexico
in
City, guys.
2020.
Mexico
Right.
City.
It's one of the biggest
I know.
cities in the world.
Okay. All right, Andy, you got a number?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you write down?
27 million.
I wrote down 22 million. What's the answer?
Wow. 22 million?
Yeah.
27 million?
Yeah.
We have a winner. 9,290,000.
Wow.
Victory! We both went high.
We went
All
way
right.
high.
Andy, you represented yourself
Thank you.
well
Thank
in
you.
Potpourri of
Thank
Lies.
Andy, you did really good.
Thank
but,
you.
Once Upon a Time in the West is one of my favorite movies of all time.
You know what? I just looked her up. She was in a lot of famous. She was in 8.5. She was
I
in a
know,
lot of really
I
famous
know,
movies.
I know.
By the way, Game of Games brought to you by Jacob and Marani. Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but Jacob is here to win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. Pepe, do I have any reason to worry tonight?
Not if the Lakers play if they don't take it easy with this
If they
team
don't mail
because-
it in. Michael, do I have any reason to worry tonight?
That's the fridge door closing,
please.
baby.
Oh, come on.
Well, now I'm worried.
Yeah, the last 5 times Michael
Listen,
put a game
okay,
in a fridge,
if
they
the Lakers lose tonight, let's cancel the rest. Don't go to the playoffs. How about that? If they lose to this team.
Well, they
Michael,
go,
stop.
They're going to make
saying-
they're going to make the play-in.
Even that. Let's cancel that. If they lose to this Pelicans team with half their team missing.
I don't. And by the way, it's more than half.
There you go.
They have like 8 guys missing.
They're signing guys as we speak.
I think the Lakers win tonight. What happens with the 2 games in Oklahoma City, Pepe?
I hope they win at least one.
Michael, I think they lose Sunday, win Tuesday. What do you think?
Tuesday, Dagno's probably going to
They
rest
need
everybody.
to win 4 out of the 6 games.
Yeah. So the one of the losses is in OKC on Tuesday, and then the you think that Dallas is going? Well, Dallas is going to be emotional.
Dallas. is
Either
gonna be
Dallas or the Houston game here, because Houston was probably mad that we beat them the last time. All right, Pepe, we'll see you at the game. Coming up next, Super Crosstalk, ESPN LA.
It's the ultimate wrestling experience and your chance to win tickets to WrestleMania. 2 chances to win. Go to ESPNLA.com right now and register to be there Monday afternoon with O'Shea Jackson Jr., Cappy, producer Lindsay Baseball, and me at Hollywood Park Casino, broadcasting live from 3 to 6 p.m. Double your chances to win WrestleMania tickets in Vegas. Just go to ESPNLA.com right now and click the ultimate wrestling experience. Sucker. Bang!
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns but is too stubborn, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the door, just because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit Target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Don't miss the historic showdown on April 5th as the USA Women's National Team takes on Brazil at SoFi Stadium. Celebrate the first ever women's sporting event at SoFi Stadium and experience the excitement of world-class soccer. Bring your friends, bring your family, and witness an unforgettable match. Tickets start as low as $58. But don't wait. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com or visit SoFiStadium.com for more info. Join us and be a part of history.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investment to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover train will quickly move guests between all terminals, the new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and a kiss and fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less. And trains depart every 2 minutes, beginning in early 2026. Learn more on this website, lawa.org/ESPN.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins. Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
It is time for Super Crosstalk. Scott Kaplan and George Sedano joined the program. Sedano, where are you at today?
I'm home because the kids had early dismissal and Kelly's working.
So you were Mr. Mob today.
Yes.
220, 221, whatever
I
it
landed.
takes.
I literally landed this morning and then I had like an hour to eat lunch and then had to go to early dismissal.
Senor Madre.
How old are your kids, Sedano?
10 and 6.
Well, couldn't they stay there by themselves until you got home?
10 and 6? What is wrong
You
with
got in
you?
the Bahamas?
Well, that's why you're so screwed up.
Yeah. Well, they did a little after school care, but for a little while until I got there. But yeah, I mean, listen.
I know Kelly, George's wife. If he would have no-showed for this, George would be looking for a new mate.
Yeah.
Don't they do that in the Cuban community, George? Kids that young can stay home sometimes?
No, on the contrary. It's
Really?
like Cuban kids, Hispanic kids in general, Laura could probably attest to this. There's not even like sleepovers. That's like not even a
Hell
thing.
no.
Really?
We do
Yeah.
not get sleep. That's why when Briones is like, I used to sleep over at my friend's house, I'm like, mentiroso, because that does not happen.
That's what I always say, mentioso.
Well, that's you, Cappy.
I don't even know what that means.
Liar.
Cap, were you as discouraged as Michael and I were by that performance by the Lakers last
Worst
night?
loss of the year, I say.
Well, let me put it to you guys this way. At halftime, I went to the men's room, and the broadcast was on in the men's room. So, I mean, this is like maybe there's 30 seconds to go. And I hear you, John, say something like, and at this point, it's like 53 to 39-ish.
Right. Is this when I said this game is a blowout?
Yes.
And,
When
and Michael said, oh, don't panic. I said, I'm not panicking. They're lethargic. They need to panic.
Right. When you said this game is a blowout, I made the decision in my mind at that exact moment, I'm going to Mason this thing. So I decided I'm leaving at halftime. I'm going to listen to the game on my way home. I listened to the second half, and, John, you were cracking me up how you were going, I want to go into the huddle and tell these guys, drive the ball to the basket. What are you doing, man?
Sedano, did you have a chance to watch that game?
I did, yes. I was able to watch it back today.
What was driving me bananas was the fact that the Lakers would not attack the rim in the first half. They scored 47 points in the first half and 69 in the second half after JJ yelled at him to go to the hoop. But you guys might want to call me crazy. I still want Lakers Warriors in round one because I think the Lakers would make adjustments. And, George, I think it would go 6 or 7, probably 7. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think it goes potentially the distance. Yes, I'm with you on that.
But, Michael, am I wrong to want that in the first round because they could knock us out?
No, I'm so scared of the Warriors. They look so unbeatable. Of course you're not wrong. I mean, where do people get this thing, Cappy, where you're supposed to be afraid to place against somebody? I'm sure when you were a place kicker, you never feared anybody, did you?
He feared the left upright.
Yeah, actually, I feared everybody. I was fearful of the defensive linemen that were talking crap to me before I went out there to kick. I was fearful of the referee not having his contacts in. I was fearful of my coach, what he might say when I came up. I was fearful of my teammates.
By the way, Cappy, did any lineman or any defensive player who was trying to rattle you for a kick ever have a line that stayed with you, or was it all just nonsense?
It was all just nonsense, but I was a talker myself. I'm sure this doesn't really surprise you. My favorite would be on onside kicks. And, you don't get them that often, but on the rare occasion that you get an onside kick, I would always look across the line. I'd find the one guy that looked like the least athletic of them all, and then I would point at him. I go, I'm coming right for you, man.
Nice.
I'm kicking it right to you.
Love it. Hey, Cappy, when a coach calls a timeout for a place kicker just before he kicks it, does that affect you as a kicker? Do you think about it? How does a kicker react like you in that situation?
Most kickers are like, oh, thank you for doing that. Because now I'm really going to stick it to you. Yeah, now I'm going to really stick it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got a chance to kind of think it out a little bit. You think you're freezing the kicker. You're not.
I remember one time I was shooting a free throw in high school. And I didn't play a lot in high school, but I was a good free throw shooter. Some guy walks up to me once at the end of a game. It was close. And he said, hey, man, what is going on with your hair? And I go, what do you mean? And he just walks away. And I missed it. I missed the free throw. I'm like, I can't believe that worked.
Wow.
Yeah. And I said to him after the game, we ended up winning that game. I walked up to him and I go, I've never had anybody say that before. He goes, works every time.
That's like, isn't that what Cedric Maxwell did with James Wade? He gave him the choke thing, and then James missed a free throw?
I think he missed 2.
Missed 2 after he did that?
Yeah, so sometimes that stuff works.
But, Michael, I agree with you. Worst loss of the year, I know you guys were having this conversation last night on the broadcast as I was listening. It was the worst loss because, John, you immediately brought up a loss against Charlotte.
At home.
Yeah. But, Michael, your point I thought was a good point, which is, okay, look, sometimes in the regular season you lose focus, you lose concentration, you don't care about the game necessarily. But this was your opportunity to show the world you're ready for primetime, as you put it. This was your opportunity at home to get playoff ready. This was the night where all the stars were out, and you laid a big egg.
And one thing that this did, Sonano, was it reactivated the tightness of the Western Conference. Now the Lakers are looking at a game tonight in San Francisco between Denver and the Warriors They are a half a game behind Denver, but only a game ahead of the Warriors. I'm not sure who Laker fans are supposed to root for. What do you think? Lakers are the 4.
You gotta hope, like, honestly, I don't know. I think you got to hope for like Memphis or Houston. To me, those are the best scenarios for you.
Right.
I actually am okay with Minnesota too. McMenamin and Trudell seem scared of Minnesota. I'm not.
I think Minnesota's about to go on a run. Andy read me their schedule.
Their schedule's really
And I think
easy.
they're going to go 5-0 down the stretch, George, which would give them 50 wins. And I think 50 wins is going to get them the 5, maybe the 4. So I think they're in the 7 now, which means someone is dropping to the 7. Michael, my guess is it's going to be Memphis.
yeah.
Because
They're
they
done.
seem a little broken. They're
Yeah.
0-4 under this new coach.
Yep.
But that could be the Lakers if they play with their food.
That's what happens to Memphis. You hire a Finn and you finish.
That's right. That's right.
You get it, Cappy?
I do. I got it in a big way.
All right. Sedana's still trying to figure it out. Sedana, he's from Finland.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I got it. I just wasn't going to entertain the nonsense.
Does anyone give my
I will.
UCLA women a chance against UConn, or should I
Yes.
just accept my
Oh,
fate?
I picked them to win the whole thing now. Like I was on Around the Horn the other day, and I think they can win the whole thing. Lauren Bett's the best pivot player in the league in the country. She's the best defensive player in the country this year, and in her conference at least for sure. And they've got some balanced players there, like balanced offense, particularly. Got Gabriela Jaquez, got Kiki Rice. Like, they've got good players. And this is the weakest of the South Carolina teams that we've seen in a while.
Will your boy Jaime be at the game tonight? Jaime?
He says he's going.
He's going?
Yeah,
Good.
the Heat had a home game last night, and they have a home game tomorrow night, and apparently he asked Pat Riley.
Yeah, they're in
Riley,
Tampa. Heck yeah.
Riley said go.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Good for him. Yeah, that he's going to go visit them. What Sedano and Cap, what do you guys think awaits Michael and I when we land in Oklahoma City tomorrow? Is that the Thunder have won 10 games in a row?
Jeez.
They're flirting with 70. If they win every game for the rest of the season, they win 70. Do the Lakers win either one of those games Sunday day, Tuesday night?
One.
Well, I would take
I think they can split it.
Yeah.
I think they definitely can split
Well,
it.
George, do you think Dagnall might rest people, or he's got such a young team?
Or should he go for 70? There's history to be the third team to
The
win
War-
70
the
games.
Warriors did it, and remember
Michael,
they didn't win the
I
title?
asked him. I asked him on Wednesday. So
What'd he
Wednesday
say?
I asked him, and I said to him, look, I know that you have kind of downplayed 70 wins, but you guys like to win games. Even when your backups are in there, they're trying to win the game. And he said, look, this is going to sound super cliche, but we kind of just say to ourselves, here are our goals. Our goal was like, hey, we got to win as many games as possible. And, yes, we do want to win every game, and our process is every day we want to win. We want to beat whoever we play with, whoever's on the floor. So to answer your question, if it's in front of us, we're going to try to get it. But if we fall short, we're not going to be like bothered or upset by it.
Hey, you guys, explain to me the disrespect of Oklahoma City. Like, why more people aren't saying, hey, that's the team. Like Marcus Morris, who I like a lot, I covered him, was on ESPN yesterday, and he said, they're too young, they don't have playoff experience, they're not going to win it. George, I think that they are hands down the favorite, like an overwhelming favorite to go to the finals. What do you think?
Who's that again? Sorry.
Oklahoma City.
Yes. I think that, well, I mean, look, all the analytics point to that,
doing, George?
too. I
Making
mean, they have
toast?
the highest.
No, he's on a Comrex.
No,
so he's
Benny
delayed.
came in the room.
You sound you sound
Yeah,
distracted.
and Benny came in the room, so.
Oh.
Is,
No,
Be-
I
is
just
Benny
told
your
you the
dog?
dog just came in the room.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Here. I can show you. If you're looking
Let
at the
me see what you
YouTube,
got.
you'll see him.
Like, oh, hi, Benny.
Was
Look
that
at
a
that
dog?
dog.
Yeah.
Oh, hi,
He's
Benny.
a dachshund.
Oh, is
A
he
wiener
giving-
dog.
Is he giving you kisses?
He did.
That's nice.
So, John, I believe ESPN's basketball power index has them at like 58% to make the finals or something like that.
I think I'd put them more at like 78, but we'll see.
Well, but that's compared to all the teams in the West, right? So
Right.
50, almost nearly 60%, and that includes all the teams in contention.
Cappy, you want to come with us to Oklahoma City and hang out there for a couple of days? We're
Great.
going to be there Saturday through Tuesday night.
Great steakhouse in the hotel.
I was
A lot of
just about to
mahogany
say.
dinners.
How do you know that?
George, I'm having dinner at Mahogany on Sunday night with two guys I went to college
I don't know
with.
which steakhouse you're talking about, but I got
live
sent one year to cover. It was 2010. I got sent to cover Lakers Thunder, and I believe it was McMenamin and I went out one night for steak dinner in OKC.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact name of the place, but it was really, really
Yeah, it
good.
was probably Mahogany. It's across the street from the Coal Court. You know, one thing think if you ever go to
there's Bob's and Mahogany.
Bob-
Those are the
Bob's.
two
Bob's
that
Steakhouse?
everybody
I
goes to.
don't remember. I just remember it was very good.
I will say this: if you ever go to Oklahoma City, anybody, the museum about the Oklahoma City bombing is incredibly well done.
Yeah, it's like the only thing I know about that town.
It's worth going over there for. George, you ever done that? It's worth going over there for a couple hours.
I have.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth it. Cappy, have you ever even been to Oklahoma City?
I drove through one time. That's it.
On your
Never
way
been.
on your way to where?
I think I was driving from Pittsburgh to Phoenix, and I drove by Oklahoma City. I don't know this. I don't know the town at all. I don't know it.
Yeah, see, because I drove once from Los Angeles to New Orleans, and I didn't go that high into Oklahoma City. But, Cap, I'm surprised you didn't stop there because the best thing in Oklahoma City is